Playoff travels through the mountains of West Virginia today.
Mountaineers!
Early morning showers haven't kept the tailgaters away. The grills are hot for Baylor in West Virginia. Big welcome to the Ford Fox Sports 1 College Football pregame, sponsored by the Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. From the Big 12, it's fourth-ranked Baylor against West Virginia. Craig Bowerjack along with Ryan Nee. So glad you're with us. And Ryan, a busy day, the first of 3 on Fox Sports 1. And very much like Baylor, I think you'll agree, West Virginia can put points on the scoreboard. 61 last week against TCU.
Well, their explosive offense is led by a dynamic duo that's been carving up defenses every single week in Clint Trickett and Kevin White. Clint Trickett is playing the quarterback position at a high level. He has over 300 yards in 7 straight games. And his go-to wide receiver, Kevin White, is a special talent. He is playing at an extremely high level and is leading the nation in total yards.
Expect noise and plenty of it as we welcome West Virginia on the football field. And Ryan, that noise could cause some trouble for Baylor quarterback Bryce Petty, who saw his Heisman stock take a big jump last week.
Well, Bryce Petty's going to have to play big once again, just like he did last week against TCU, where he put up career numbers with over 500 yards and had 6 touchdowns. He is an elite quarterback, and oh, is he a special talent. I can't wait to watch him today.
And both these teams won in dramatic fashion last week.
The kick by Callahan is good, and the Bears win, coming from 21 points down to win it on a kick at the final play.
This for the win, and the Texas boy making a homecoming and giving West Virginia the win.
Welcome to the Fox Sports 1 College Football, presented by Geico. Milan Puskar Stadium in Morgantown, West Virginia. Baylor sits atop the Big 12, 3-0 in conference play, 6-0 overall. You'll find West Virginia right in the middle of the pack with their only conference loss coming week 4 against Oklahoma. We meet the coaches. Art Briles, the head coach of Baylor, 7th year in Waco, and scored his 50th win last week against TCU. Dana Holgerson, 4th year here in Morgantown, 4-8 last year, making some big strides this season. A win today would make his club a contender in the Big 12.
It would be a huge win. They've already played 2 ranked opponents this year in the top 5. They have another opportunity to find a way to get a win today. It would be a huge win for this organization and for this program if they can find a way to get it done today, Craig.
It rained earlier this morning. The field has dried out, not completely, could play a factor throughout the day. Partly cloudy and cool. West Virginia won the toss. They'll take the football. Spencer Evans has it teed up, and we're underway in Morgantown. 1 yard deep. Smallwood. And a small return back inside the 10-yard line. And West Virginia will start at the 9-yard line. And Ryan, 3 things we need to know, you need to know about West Virginia.
Well, top of the mountain because of the way that they're playing offensively. 500 total yards of offense, 5 straight games, impressive. Clint Trickett is playing at an extremely high level at the quarterback position, 3rd in the FBS with 367 yards a game. And Kevin White, what a special talent at the wide receiver position. He is playing at an elite level, Craig.
Leads the FBS in total reception yards, nearly 900 on the season. Trickett goes to work, play action on the first ball of the day up top, double coverage, and that ball is caught but out of bounds. Alford has great speed, and he was at the 50-yard line. A good toss by Trickett, who's coming off last week 2 touchdowns, Ryan, 301 yards in that win against Texas Tech.
Well, he wasted no time right there offensively. He went for the deep pass. We're going to see that a number of times today. That is going to be their go-to play here today.
Shell, the lone back, lines up behind Trickett, takes the carry and pounds his way maybe to the 11. They're going to mark him at the 10-yard line. Shell, a big back at 215 pounds, a sophomore out of Hopewell, Pennsylvania. And Ryan, a transfer from Pitt.
Well, they have a number of transfers, and He's one of the special guys that they really enjoy. When the ball gets in his hands, he can do some elusive things. He's going to have to get some more touches today if they have a chance to get this offense in rhythm.
4 wide receiver set, 3 up top. An early big third down. They need 9 to keep this drive alive from the 10-yard line. Trickett from the gun. Pressure, ducks. But he won't escape. Ball comes out at the 5-yard line. Baylor recovers at the 6.
A huge play, and Andre Billings, number 75, may be the best player on the field that nobody really talks about. But when you talk to the coaches, number 75 is disruptive. He gets in the face, he gets in the backfield, he sacks Trickett right there and causes the fumble. An excellent job by that young man. And Craig, when we talked to the coaches, all of them said, you know what, Billings, you got to watch out for him.
He's under further review.
We're going to review this, as you heard Alan Eck, our referee today, and it's going to go upstairs to our replay official, Don Capperell. If that play stands, that would be the 9th lost fumble this season for West Virginia.
Well, that's got to be confirmed. That's an easy call.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down, Baylor.
So the 9th lost fumble, and it gives Baylor incredible territory inside the 10. Shock Linwood is in the backfield. He'll line up alongside Bryce Petty. This offense prolific. Nearly 53 points a game, leads the FBS. On the throw, ball tip, flags out. Coleman made the catch, but a flag back inside the 10-yard line.
Looked like offsides.
Offside. Defense lining up in the neutral zone. The penalty is declined. The play resulted in a touchdown.
So Coleman in the end zone for his 5th touchdown of the season.
Bing, bang, boom. They throw a back shoulder fade right to the right receiver. Perfect position. Bryce Petty once again right on the money with a laser, throwing a dart to Corey Coleman.
16th touchdown throw by Bryce Petty. Last week magical with 6 throws for a touchdown in that comeback win against TCU. A legitimate big-time Heisman candidate. So that fumble costs West Virginia. They spot Baylor 7 early on Fox Sports 1. Welcome back to Fox Sports 1 College Football, presented by Geico. Clint Trickett, anxious Ryan needs to get back on the field after that fumble and a 7-yard touchdown. It took 3 seconds to find the end zone for Baylor.
One of the quickest scoring drives, if not the quickest scoring drive for Baylor. But Clint Trickett now has to find a way to calm himself down, calm the offense down. And when we talked to him yesterday, Greg, he said control what you can control. Right now they have to do that. They have to get this crowd back into it, get this team excited. There's still a lot of football left to play.
Baylor now scoring in a school record 94 consecutive games. And Evans, for the 2nd time in the last minute, will kick away. Low line drive, taken at the 5-yard line. This time by Shelton Gibson. Little stutter move, heads to the far sideline, chased at the 15. And he's ridden down to the 19-yard line. Let's check out defensively impact players for the Bears.
When you look defensively for the Baylor Bears, you got to look at number 44, Bryce Hager at the linebacker position, and Sean Oakman at the defensive line. He'll be in the backfield. He is a beast on that defensive line. And Bryce Hager, he is the leader. He had 13 tackles last week. He is all over the football field.
Randy made a great point about Trickett. You've got to calm yourself down a minute and change into this ball game. Yes, you're down by 7, but the hometown crowd of 60+ thousand right behind you. On the ground they go to Shell. Nice hold. Breaks it. A big gainer to the 30-yard line and a late flag tossed at the 20-yard line. Orion Stewart, the strong safety, with the tackle.
Could be holding on the offense.
Number 11, offense. 10-yard penalty for the spot of foul. Replay, first down.
Now the hold goes against Kevin White, who was trying to block downfield. The wide receiver. 5 straight games with 500+ total yards and 25+ first downs. Tied for first in the FBS with Marshall. This West Virginia offense can strike as it did last week in that win against Texas Tech, 61-58. Rough start for Trickett. That ball deflected and it falls out of bounds, incomplete. Jordan Thompson, the inside receiver, the intended receiver. Terrell Burt on coverage for Baylor.
Right there, West Virginia went to an empty set. They tried to find a mismatch. They got man-to-man defense, exactly what they wanted, but they couldn't find a way to find the open receiver.
2 backs alongside Trickett on 3rd down and long. Tripped up, Wendell Smallwood to the 15.
Well, Taylor Young, the linebacker who's come in, has made an excellent play. Great job scraping across the middle, shooting his arms and making that tackle.
Trickett back to work, passes on a dart up top, big catch, 37-yard line, and way up high goes Smallwood, and a great pass on a string from Trickett.
Well, Howard got a free release right up the hash. That's an easy release for him, an excellent job catching the football. Easy throw, great read by Trickett right there.
23-yard pickup and a first down, much needed early for West Virginia. Back to the air, right on the hands at the 41-yard line is Jordan Thompson. Jordan Thompson, a junior out of Katy, Texas, came in with 20 receptions, a couple of touchdowns. That was a pickup of 5. And from the eye goes West Virginia. The man in motion is Alford. Hand off. Nice power run. Nearly at midfield. 49-yard line. Looks like a first down. And Russell Shell. Last week, 110 yards, a couple of touchdowns against Texas Tech. His 215-pound body, you couldn't stop him.
Well, Russell Shell right there demonstrates his power. He lowers his pad. He brings the boom. Excellent job running his feet at the running back position.
Mountaineers putting together a drive after a very shaky start. Trickett all day in the pocket, throws deep, middle of the field and trying to come back. Incomplete, but now a flag late inside the 20-yard line. Contact made. It was Terrell Burt one-on-one with the Keel Shorts of West Virginia.
Pass interference. Number 13, defense. 13-yard.
Well, Craig, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that call. Terrell Burt does an excellent job, and he's in good position. It was an underthrown ball. There's not a lot of contact right there. I don't agree with that call.
Well, penalties have haunted Baylor. 59th of the season, 7th most in the FBS. And West Virginia trying to get something up on the board. Man coverage up top. Touchdown, Kevin White. He leads the FBS in reception yards, now over 900, and his 6th touchdown reception of the year.
Clint Trickett and Kevin White had great chemistry. An excellent job throwing that deep ball down the football field. You can see the emotion of Kevin White, a special talent at the wide receiver position.
Josh Lambert, the hero last week with a chip shot for the PAT. He hasn't missed on the year, now 23 of 23. And the long ball off the hand of Trickett finds Kevin White. Touchdown, Mountaineers, and we're tied at 7 in Morgantown. With Kevin White yesterday, what a fun individual, 6'3", 210-pounder on a 36-yard touchdown reception, 7 plays, 159 off the clock, and Trickett was the key, Ryan Neese, in my book, 3 of 4 on that drive, 64 yards, and he calmed down West Virginia.
Talked about it. He said he needed to find a way to respond right there. He was able to control what he can control, and he controlled it by throwing darts to his wide receivers and hooking up with Kevin White for the touchdown.
Michael Molinari on the kick, hangs up at the 2-yard line. Hawthorne makes a cut, 20, 25, and knocked out of bounds hard at the 27-yard line.
Craig, we're going to go back to the touchdown, and Xavier Howard, the corner right there, Phil Bennett, the defensive coordinator for Baylor, said he's going to be matched up with Kevin White all day. Well, if he's going to be matched up man-to-man and play bump and run technique, he has to be firm with his hands. He's got to put his hands up with purpose, with aggression, and slow down Kevin White. If you give Kevin White a free release on any corner in the country, he's going to get by you all day long.
He told us yesterday, what's it like being 6'3"? He goes, I like it.
He said, I like it, with a huge smile.
7-all tie as Baylor goes back to work. Pitch and catch, Petty to Antoine Goodley. 3 things you need to know about Baylor.
Well, they do an excellent job recruiting from the state of Texas. 21 of 22 of their starters from that state. And offensively, they run a number of plays, 90 plays per game. Unbelievable average.
Last week, 109 plays in that win against TCU. How about the third thing you need to know?
In the shock factor. Shock Linwood, the running back. He leads the Big 12 with averaging 104 yards a game. An impressive running back for Baylor.
Perfect name for a running back. He will shock you over 5 yards a carry. Second down, 8. Play action, Petty in the pocket. Man coverage near side. Contact, little push. Goodley working hard, incomplete. They're going to put Daryl Worley on Goodley all day. So watch number 7 for West Virginia and number 5. They're in for a long battle.
They are in for a long battle. And we talked to defensive coordinator Tony Gibson. He said, I'm going to be aggressive. I have to find a way to get my players to get their hands and be extremely physical at the line of scrimmage with this speed that Baylor presents on every single play.
Listen in on 3rd down and 7. 60,000 strong in Morgantown. Complete, just off the fingertips of Clay Fuller. Nice touch by Petty. Just off the hands, and that brings up 4th down for Baylor.
Well, we're going to see the receiver get isolated right here, and Clay Fuller gets a free release, and he's wide open. But the reason that Bryce Petty wasn't able to hit that throw is they dialed up pressure on him. They brought heat, they brought pressure and said, hey, we're going to try to get in his face. We're going to try to hit him and disrupt his throw. They did that. Excellent job by West Virginia's defense.
Spencer Roth averaging just over 41 yards a punt inside his own 30-yard line. Worley is back to receive. Beautiful kick. Angles it to the corner and takes a divot. They're going to mark it at the 1. Roth with a beautiful 56-yard boot. And when we come back, Clint Trickett back on the field for West Virginia.
We've seen a number of big plays already in this game, and Spencer Roth, the punter for Baylor, comes up with another huge play, a beautiful kick, perfectly executed for him to drop that ball right on the 1-yard line. I don't give kickers a lot of love often, Craig, but right there I have to give Roth some special love because field position is going to be key in this game, and he just pinned West Virginia on the 1-yard line.
Yeah, 56-yard boot, you're right. They flipped the field. It's 99 yards to pay dirt now for West Virginia. Got to be careful here as they hand off in their own end zone, and they push forward with Smallwood. He'll pick up 4, maybe 5. Wellman was out with a block out front. Second down 7, not much. Smallwood gets the carry again. They're going to mark him at the 6. So a pickup of 1.
Well, right now, last time they were in this position on the field, on a 3rd down, on that first drive, Baylor brought some heat with their defensive linemen. They didn't bring a blitz. It was just Andrew Billings, Oakman, and the rest of the crew getting in the backfield and being disruptive and caused a fumble. West Virginia has to protect right now.
1 of 2 on 3rd down conversions. Just in front of his goal line of the gun is Trickett. Hand off, a lot of pads are popping. Bowie, Andrew Bowie. Forward progress will get him to the 11-yard line. And they're going to move the chains. Big run by Andrew Bowie.
Andrew Bowie's not a big guy. He's 5'9", 185, but he lowered the boom right there to fight for that first down.
So some breathing room for the Mountaineers. Trickett throws, far side, up top, and a flag. Kevin White couldn't hang on, but a flag is out at the 43.
Pass interference, number 4, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Kevin White is going to be trouble all day for Baylor.
Well, Kevin Howard, once again, he's going to be matched up all day long. And if they're going to call the game this way with the referees, having both players right there fighting for the ball, I didn't see any pass interference. But if they're going to call it that way, West Virginia is going to continue to take shots, because if they don't catch it, they're going to get a flag.
Fresh downs at the 25-yard line. From the gun. Handoff straight away. Bowie slices for at least 5 to the 33. Give him 6. Bowie, back in 2012, was a freshman the last time they played Baylor here in Morgantown. He was a big factor. 25 carries, 82 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. Tricky out of the backfield, swings it, and Bowie lost his footing. He'll lose a couple of yards back to the 28-yard line.
In 2012, a number of players for both teams were factors. I mean, it was a track meet up and down the field, a lot of scoring in that game. And once again, we're already off to a fast start here in this game.
70-63 the final. Now it's 7-7 early. Just under 9 minutes left, opening quarter. Empty backfield for Trickett. Throws, hot slant. Ball knocked away. No flag, incomplete. Kevin White, the intended receiver. Pressure came from Colin Brentz, the nickelback, and forced that throw just a little early.
And Howard, we talked about it. He's going to be in man-to-man all day. He got his hands in there. He was aggressive at the line of scrimmage and did a smart job. Fundamentals, got his hand around and batted that ball down to break up that pass.
Whistles before the punt. That's Nick O'Toole.
Look at that mustache.
Yeah, I like that, huh? Old time, old-fashioned look. Little wax on that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to put some work in to make it look like that. That's not easy to do.
Here's the call.
Start, number 22, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So march it back 5. And O'Toole now inside his own 10-yard line to punt it away. Into the wind. Hangs it high. Good kick. Fair catch waved for by Norwood at the 42-yard line. And Baylor will have it. A 39-yard punt. 7-all. Baylor, West Virginia. Back September 29th of 2012, Baylor, West Virginia, the highest scoring game in Big 12 history.
Touchdown, Baylor.
Amazing ball game. Geno Smith, 656 yards passing, 8 touchdowns. Baylor quarterback Nick Florence, about 581 for 5 touchdowns. Over 1,500 yards of offense in a game, honestly, I never wanted to end.
You talk about buckling up and 2 offenses flying up and down the field, and Geno Smith, you never saw a quarterback look so tired after a victory.
No gain. Linwood knocked down by Wachuku and Kwiatkowski, 2 of the best football names in football. Now there's a flag dropped at the 38.
False start, number 55, offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Rob, been some miscues here in the first quarter. And that fumble that put Baylor in the end zone.
That fumble, and Baylor defensively was able to come up with a big play. All of a sudden, 3 penalties for Baylor for 35 yards. A couple miscues. And Kyle Fuller doesn't have miscues at the center. He's the leader of that offensive line.
Second down and 4, empty backfield. There's Petty. Stands in the pocket, has all day. Throws it up top. Ball got away, and now another flag is thrown. Corey Coleman, the intended receiver, looks like he got tangled up with K.J. Dillon, number 9, the spur back for West Virginia. Allen Eck has been busy here in the first quarter.
Pass interference. Number 9, defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Once again, number 9, we're going to see, gets his hands on right there. He's in the right position. I mean, once again, these are ticky-tack calls. I don't think that they're the right calls, but this is the way the refs are going to call it. The players are going to have to adjust.
We saw Danner Holderson. He's upset. Low snap handled by Petty to Linwood. Now another flag down at the 45. Right now, Ryan, we're on pace for a flag of play.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Number 4, defense. 15-yard penalty. Enforced at the end of the run. First down.
Let's go to Mike Pereira, who knows and sees all back in Los Angeles. Mike, it looked like it's going to be, was it a targeting foul in your mind or not?
No, I don't think it was. He hit him really on the left shoulder, and they had the hands to the face call, which looks like it might have been the right one, but certainly not targeting.
To the end zone, Baylor incomplete. We'll check in with Mike throughout today. So far, a very busy opening quarter here in Morgantown.
Well, right there, you can see the hands to the face. I mean, that's what they're calling right there. It wasn't necessarily the running back, but right there, Shaquille Riddick gets his hands up in the offensive player's face, and that's where they do the flag.
Second down and 10. Linwood alongside Petty at the 31-yard line. They ride Linwood into that line to the 21-yard line. First down, Baylor. I like the way Petty runs that little option. He rides the belly and rode him about 2 yards into that line before he let him go.
Well, that's the option. You learn that in Pee Wee football. You continue to ride that fake as long as possible when you're the quarterback.
First and 10 on the 21-yard line. Baylor and West Virginia tied at 7. Petty pressured from the edge. He goes up top and knocked away. Incomplete. Good coverage. Terrell Chestnut knocked it away from Coleman.
Well, Terrell Chestnut, once again, both players very physical at the line of scrimmage, but Terrell Chestnut shows his speed to get back, and what he does a nice job of, Craig, is getting his head turned around, being able to try to locate the ball to bat it down.
Bryce Petty just 2 of 6 so far in this game. He's missed on his last 4 attempts. On a keeper. No gain. And a little wave of the finger. How about that?
Just a little bit of a wave of the finger.
Kyle Rose trying to get this crowd motivated.
All of a sudden, Bryce Petty, we know that he can throw the ball all over the place. But if you're going to run the ball, this defense is ready for you right there. They're going to tell you, you better not keep it because we got you.
Crowd's up, 3rd down and 10. Baylor spreads the field, again pressure from the edge, and that forces Petty to throw quickly, incomplete.
And this is right where this defense wanted to rise up. On a 3rd down, they brought pressure, made Bryce Petty move off his landmark, get uncomfortable, and again, they were aggressive. They were toe-to-toe with the wide receivers all the way down the field. We're going to continue to see this until Bryce Petty can start to find a way to get comfortable and put the ball on target. We're going to see those incomplete passes.
You're an old linebacker. You like that pressure by Tonkery and Muldrow. This will be a 38-yard attempt by Callahan. Kick is up and good from 38. First time he's hit from 30 or better. His longest 29 until that 38-yard boot, and Baylor takes a 3-point lead on the road. Well, Tuesday on Fox, it's finally here. The Fall Classic begins as the San Francisco Giants continue their quest for their 3rd championship in the last 5 years, where they head to Kansas City to take on those amazing Royals, who will look to stay unbeaten in the playoffs. Coverage of the World Series begins Tuesday, 7:30 Eastern, only on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. How about that, 2 wild cards? Royals, last time they were in the playoffs, 85, when they won the World Series against St. Louis in the I-70 series.
Well, they talk about it at all levels, Craig. All you want to do is get in the playoffs. Major League Baseball, the NBA, the NFL, if you can get in the playoffs, doesn't matter where you are or where you're seated. You just want in because it's a brand new season. That's going to be the same way now in college football. Everybody just wants to get into the playoffs, and we see a number of teams fighting for that. Baylor right now is one of those teams.
Alford back to receive. He's taken 2 kick returns for touchdowns already this season. Is he going to bring it out? No. It's Gibson who was told by Alford not to come out. Time for a Lowe's Never Stop Improving game break. For the first time, let's check in with Greg Wolf.
All right, thanks. Let's go to Norman, Oklahoma. Top 25 battle in the Big 12. We got a Gronk sighting. Jake Waters to Glenn Gronkowski, the youngest member of the Gronk family. K-State ties things up with number 11 Oklahoma at 7 apiece. First quarter. Greg, Ryan, back to you.
All right, thank you, Greg. Something about the Gronks.
Good bloodlines there.
Yeah.
Good bloodlines there.
Not the fastest, but he got it done. Nice spin. Dreamer Smith at the 35. What a football name. Dreamer Smith. He's a senior. He came out of junior college a couple of years ago. Averages 4 yards a carry. They're deep in the backfield here at West Virginia. 1st and 10 from the 35. Straight ahead to the 40. Cody Clay, the H-back, number 88, leads that blocking up front.
We spent time with Dana Holgerson the other day. You know, he said we don't have a featured back. All of our backs are going to get touches. All of them have the opportunity to help our offense. And you're seeing it now. All of a sudden, Andrew Blue, Dreamus, Michelle, all of them can play well.
Jumping forward, picks up a couple extra yards. Javonte McGee, the nose tackle, makes a stop for Baylor.
Big 3rd down. Both of the coaches told us how important 3rd downs are to continue to move the chains offensively and find a way to get off the field defensively. Baylor, another opportunity to rise up on their defense and get a stop.
Smith lost a shoe. Smallwood checks in. Trickett flush from the pocket. Throws. It's intercepted. Howard with the pick. And the second turnover by Trickett here in the 1st quarter. And Baylor runs it back to the 35-yard line. Bo Blackshear came in that backfield and forced that ball out of Trickett's hand, and Xavier Howard with the interception.
Xavier Howard at the top of your screen. He's the shadow to Kevin White all day long. The ball's a little bit late. Howard's in the right position and reads the route. He's able to break on the ball and obviously get there and secure the interception. A smart job. He's been tested all day long. He comes up with a big play. Once again, reading the eyes of the quarterback and understanding the route right there and being able to get in front of it. Smart football play by that young man.
Only the 5th interception thrown by Trickett this year, and the 3rd interception by Howard. Backfield's empty. Petty throws. Found a soft spot. 1st down. 25-yard line. Corey Coleman with the reception.
Well, you're going to see Coleman. There's only one defensive player over there. Bryce Petty just gets up, throws the ball quickly out to wide open guys.
Petty quickly goes back to work. Good coverage downfield. Pointing, looking, and then throws to the hands on the far side. It's incomplete. Antoine Goodley came back to help, but through his hands. Today, college football continues as 15th-ranked Oklahoma State battles 12th-ranked TCU on Fox Sports 1. The 19th-ranked Nebraska takes on Northwestern on the Big Ten Network. Nightcap, Washington squares off against 9th-ranked Oregon on Fox Sports 1. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern.
Well, this is the area of the field. West Virginia's defense looked like they were reeling a little bit. Looked like they were back on their heels, but they've settled down. They're making a wholesale wholesale change right now in personnel to get the right guys in to match up against Baylor on this big third down.
Clock runs up on 4 minutes. It's 3rd down and 8. Quick toss. Caught at the 15-yard line. Antoine Goodley. He's a big receiver at 5'11", 220 pounds. You know, he's coming off an early season quad, and he's all the way back. Last week, 8 catches, 158 yards, and a couple of touchdowns in the comeback win. Linwood knocked down by Riddick. And right now, you're seeing Baylor running the perfect hurry-up.
They're dialed in right now. They're running tempo. They're going to continue to press, put their foot on the pedal, and continue to press that gas.
Number 1 in FBS in total offense, scoring. Oh, cartwheel, big hit. Petty cartwheel down around the 12 to 11-yard line. The big hitter. Hello, Daryl Worley.
Worley comes up with a terrific hit. These corners are going to have to be challenged to be able to stop the run. If they're playing man-to-man, they have to replace a smart football job by the young man, number 7, Worley, to come in there, be physical. And when you see a quarterback coming around the edge, Craig, you better try to take him out.
7th play of this drive. Petty from the gun. Flags are out. We talked about noise, Ryan. You could hear the bell toll on 3rd down, and this crowd gets crazy.
Ball start on the 61 offense. 5-yard penalty.
You're going to see right to the left of your screen, right there, 61, just a little twitch. These referees aren't playing around today. They're seeing everything on the field. They're calling every single flag that they see. Right there was a false start.
He took over for the injured Desmond Hilliard at right guard. That's Jarrell Broxton, a junior college transfer. And you're right, just a little twitch makes it 3rd down and 12. Petty on a quick throw, no flag. Coleman, the intended receiver, he was locked up tight with K.J. Dillon. It'll be Baylor with a 4th down.
Well, once again, the defensive players, we talked about it early on. The way you slow down Baylor, this speed, this up-tempo, you have to be physical at the line of scrimmage. You have to find a way to be disruptive. And K.J. Dillon, number 9, did an excellent job disrupting that route and throwing off the timing.
This will be a 34-yard field goal by Callahan. He just hit from 38. Good snap, good hole, kicks up. And good from 34. So Baylor, Ryan, able to score off 2 miscues by West Virginia. The touchdown early by the fumble, and then the pick equals 3. And it's 13-7 Baylor. Talked about it earlier. Oklahoma State, TCU, Nebraska, Northwestern on the Big Ten Network. And then later tonight, Washington up against 9th-ranked Oregon. Mr. Mariota trying to win a Heisman. So is Bryce Petty.
That's not going to be an easy game for Oregon. Washington defensively is flying around. Very aggressive defense. They're well coached. That's going to be another big game for them. Pac-12, it's an extremely tough conference. The Big 12, Craig, they're playing lights out right now when you have a number of the teams, 5 teams ranked in the top 15. A lot of people talk about the SEC. A lot of people talk about the Pac-12. But right now, the Big 12 may be playing the best football.
8 plays, 20 yards, 2.5 minutes off the clock. And Callahan with a couple of field goals here in the opening quarter. 10 points off 2 turnovers, and the wind's picked up. It's blowing from left to right and knocked that ball off the tee.
Starting to swirl around right there, and if it falls off again, they're going to have somebody come in and hold it. But that could play a factor depending on which way you're going offensively. If you're going into the wind or going with it, that could affect your throws. I'm sure the quarterback's going to be aware of that.
Ball's on the tee, it stays, and the kick's away. At the 5-yard line is Shelton Gibson, 20, 25, 30. And he stood up with a 31. Fine return by Shelton Gibson. You know, we made a few stops at Baylor last year, and you know, the Bears, you always wonder, you know, are they friendly? Well, we saw Joy and Lady. You know, black bears can run up to 30 miles an hour, about 4 to 6 feet tall. They like cran raisins. Well, you found that out.
Yeah, I came in with the cran raisins, and you come in with the big jar of honey. You always know how to sweet talk people.
Yeah. Joy and Lady, they go about 300 pounds when they reach full maturity at the age of 5. Trying to come around the end, Jordan Thompson steps out of bounds. Maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, they went deep in the playbook right there. Little trickery, little reverse, little pitch reverse. It didn't work. This defense is flying around. They look extremely fast. And right now they're disciplined. They're in the right place at the right time to make the plays they need to make.
Now the average total offense, you saw 622 yards.
We just saw that graphic that just came up. Baylor, we talk about their offense, but their defense is ranked in the top 10 in the country. It's one of the reasons why they're so balanced and one of the reasons why they're one of the elite teams in college football.
Well, number 1 in the FBS. I'd say they're dynamite both sides of the football. Smallwood tried to get the motor started off the edge, and he shut down at the 35.
Well, Phil Bennett, the defensive coordinator, y'all saw him on the sidelines. He was fired up right there. That was a run play. And those players were flying around the pursuit to be able to come in, gang tackle, and bring that ball carrier down and force a punt and get off the field.
4th down, punts away. Into the wind, fair catch at the 30-yard line by Levi Norwood. Now, this is only the 3rd game between Baylor and West Virginia. But the way things have turned out, it's a rivalry.
It's definitely a rivalry. And in these 3 games, if you just added up the stats and the scores, you would think that it was 10 years of a rivalry. As many points have been scored and as many plays that have been run. But these teams are different. Both of these teams are different this year than they have been in the past, in the previous 2 years, Craig. Offensively, defensively, they're more mature. They're playing better football on both sides of the football. And that's one of the reasons why right now the score is only 13-7. Defensively, these teams are settling down. They're tackling extremely well today. And that's one of the reasons why we're not seeing a lot of explosive plays.
And both defenses, you'll agree, much improved from even a year ago.
Of course. And they're improved because they're in the system. They feel more comfortable and they're playing with confidence.
Baylor with the ball up 13-7. Just over a minute left in the opening quarter. That ball's out. Ball's out of the 27. Flags, multiple flags are out. You saw the emotions begin to rise on that last play, and now they continue to boil over. Looks like Petty recovered the fumble. It was just a bad handoff, a bad exchange.
A miscue that you don't typically see at this point in the season. And Dana Holgerson's out in the middle of the field. I mean, he's fired up. I mean, he knows that the players right now are playing with an emotional high. This game's about emotion, and hopefully it's not a foul on his team if he's playing with that type of emotion, but we'll see.
After the play was over, there were 2 fouls. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 55, offense. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 36, defense. The foul's canceled. It's 2nd down. That's the first unsportsmanlike conduct on each player.
You can see Coach Holgerson barking that he threw a punch. Kyle Fuller, the center, and Shaq Petaway.
Well, there was a miscue, and obviously there's a scrum. And the guy that's the most hungry, usually the guy that has a lot of brothers and sisters is going to come up with that football. You see that punch right there.
Yeah, Fuller gave it to him first. Petaway answered back. So they offset. And we play with 2nd down and 13. Nothing. Middle of the field, Linwood surrounded by 1, 2, 3, 4 Mountaineers. Let's get an explanation, Mike. You got physical. Mike Pereira in Los Angeles. Your take.
You know, they did a great job of getting both guys and not just the retaliation. The more significant point to me is one more of those for either guy, and they're ejected from the game.
Yeah, great point. I thought Dana was in the mode of saying toss 55 out. Fuller now but the official showed restraint, and we play on. Petty underneath, short gain up to the 34, well short of the first down, and Baylor will punt away as the end of the first quarter.
That's the end of the first
comes
quarter.
to an end. And Ryan Neese, I think you'll agree, emotional. We saw turnovers, big plays, and here in Morgantown, Baylor on top of West Virginia. Welcome back to Fox Sports 1 College Football, presented by Geico. West Virginia defensively, Ryan Neese during the timeout, fired up, an understatement.
They're fired up right now. Tony Gibson, the defensive coordinator, said, we have to hold up in this corner. And we talked to him yesterday. He said, hey, I want my players to hold up because I'm not going to let up. I'm going to continue to be aggressive. I'm going to continue to dial up blitzes and get after this quarterback.
Spencer Roth set to punt away inside his own 20-yard line. Darrell Worley out. The ball is out at the 30. And Baylor will have the football with a 13-7 lead. Jimmy Landis recovered the ball for Baylor.
Ruling on the field as the punt was muffed by the receiving team, recovered by the kicking team. First down, Baylor. Injury timeout.
Well, Darrell Worley right there, he gives the fair catch signal, but he gets a late jump on reading the football.
Oh, player tripped him.
Yeah, at the last minute, he's got to run up to try to make that catch. And as he's running up, he gets tripped up a little bit, and he isn't able to secure it as he dives. And all the punt returners are out there, they're told they got to do everything they can to try to secure that catch, even if they have to dive for it. But in that situation, if you're feeling uncomfortable, he's got to let that ball hit the ground and get away from it and give the Peter call. And right now, hopefully he's not banged up because he's the best cornerback they have on defense.
Shelton Gibson tripped him up. Never had possession, and right now it's been a rough start for Dana Holgorsen. 3 turnovers by West Virginia.
3 turnovers, yet the score is still 7-13. They're still in this game. Just goes to show you how well their defense is playing. But at the same time, they can't make these mistakes if they're going to want to have any chance at winning this game.
Let's get a game break. Let's check in. Los Angeles, here's Greg Wolf.
All right, guys, let's go back to Norman, Oklahoma. And after a Trevor Knight pick 6, the sophomore quarterback bounces back. 28 seconds later, he finds Sterling Shepard, 47-yard score. Number 11, Oklahoma. Number 14, K-State, tied up at 14 in the second quarter. Craig, Ryan, back to you.
All right, thank you, Greg. That's a great Big 12 matchup. Great history back in the old Big 8 days, by the way. OU had their way with Kansas State.
That's a terrific matchup. A lot of rich history between those two teams. A lot of football's been played over the years, and both of those teams are playing at a high level, and the score is indicative of that at 14-14. Still early in that football game as well.
So Worley, over the last minute or two, he has been down, and now he gets helped up. Trainers continue to take a look at Worley. Looks weak-legged a bit, to say the least. And Ryan, I think you'll agree, 3 turnovers. Yes, only 13-7, but West Virginia has not helped themselves.
Well, early on, offensively, they get a sack, fumble, and then Trickett throws a pick. And those turnovers are hurting their team. And then all of a sudden, the punt right there gives opportunities back to this Baylor offense. You want to try to eliminate as many opportunities as you can to this Baylor offense. They're so explosive, they can score at any minute, at any time. And if you're giving them possessions by turning the ball over, you are hurting yourself. And they got to find a way to correct that right now. Because, Craig, right now, it's hurting them. They're putting points on the board off those turnovers.
Worley looks like holding his ribs on a Philadelphia on a slow walk off the field. Baylor now with their 6th possession of this first half and their 3rd start, Ryan, in West Virginia territory.
Worley's going to be sorely missed. He was the man that was assigned to match up with Antoine Goodley, the best wide receiver for Baylor.
And let's see if Petty goes to Goodley right out of the gate. No, instead they run it up the middle. Shots Linwood
Give is the number 32.
to the 24-yard line. out of Linden, Texas.
On the stop.
You could see his body language. He was frustrated. He got tackled by the shoelaces, or he was off for a touchdown.
Petty changes the play at the line of scrimmage. Philip Montgomery, the offensive coordinator, has no problem with that. Petty can get them into the right offense, and he does. In the pocket, he has man coverage up top, and it's knocked away in the end zone. Incomplete. K.J. Dillon going one-on-one with Norwood.
A.J. Dillon has come up with a number of big plays, and once again, he's in perfect position. He turns his back, is able to shield off the wide receiver and get his head around to break up that pass. Bryce Petty can't find an open receiver. He's trying to find the ball in there, but this defensive backfield for West Virginia is doing a nice job covering wide receivers today.
Baylor 1 of 5 on third down conversions, make it 1 of 6. Linwood stopped by Wachuku, the defensive end, and that's going to bring up fourth down.
Wachuku flying in there, getting a TFL, tackle for loss, using his hands, being disruptive. Big time play right there. Now they're going for it on fourth down.
Art Briles, fourth downs this season, converting 18 of 23, nearly 80%. Petty, home run, overthrows and complete. Petty a bit off his game here in the first half. He had Goodley open and overthrows, and West Virginia gets the ball back.
He had Goodley wide open. He had the matchup that he was looking for, man-to-man, and all of a sudden Ishmael Banks came in to find a way to find a way to slow down Goodley. Bryce Petty wasn't happy right there, frustrated, missed a wide open wide receiver.
Back in West Virginia, and one story, Darrell Worley being helped off the field here early in the second quarter. They're going to miss him out on the edge. And one of the other storylines is average starting field position. Baylor's been at the West Virginia 46-yard line, and the Mountaineers have been stuck deep in their own territory here in the first half. Up top on the hands, Kevin White from Trickett to the 36. Oh, what a play.
Kevin White gives a little outside move, a nice little stutter step, able to find a way to get separation, and beats Howard once again to the inside. Big time play between Trickett and Kevin White.
A gain of 37 to the ground goes Smallwood. He slices past the 30. They'll mark him at the 26-yard line. Another first down for the Mountaineers.
This offense is playing with confidence right now, and you can see when Trickett has a nice pocket presence, when he looks comfortable, he can throw strikes all day long.
Phil Bennett not happy, defensive coordinator for Baylor. West Virginia, Trickett. Flag inside the 5-yard line. Howard laying on the back of Kevin White. And right now, White and Trickett are picking on the corner, Xavier Howard.
Pass interference. Number 4, defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Xavier Howard and Kevin White are going to get to know each other very well by the end of the day. They're going to know their best friend's name. They're going to know their mom name. They're going to be know everything about one another because they're going to be all over the field. And Howard is trying to do everything he can to slow down this elite wide receiver. But when you get your hand in there, you hang on for too long, these referees are going to call that pass interference.
Yeah, third PI, third pass interference flag toss against Baylor's secondary. Another first down for West Virginia. Little misdirection. Smallwood chopped down after a pickup of 2. Well, a lot of jawing going on, Ryan Neese. You know, with the physicality, there's so much of a mental game also with football.
They're testy on the field, and both of these teams understand how big of a game this is. West Virginia knows what happened to them last year. They got embarrassed. They're trying to find a way to redeem this. Baylor, they're playing for respect. They're playing to be recognized as one of the top teams in the country.
26 possessions in the red zone, 15 touchdowns. If they score here on the PAT, they would take the lead on Baylor despite 3 turnovers here in the first quarter. Smallwood, the ball carrier. That brings up third down and 6. Greg Bolerjack, Ryan Neese, Mike Pereira back in our Los Angeles studios to give us insight. And we've had to talk to Mike several times. Flags, emotion, big play, and a timeout. Timeout, West Virginia. 11:50 to play in the first half. Mountaineers knocking on the door. They're down 6 at home. Baylor, 4th ranked in the country, 13. West Virginia, 7. How about the Clint Trickett, Kevin White connection? We talked about it earlier, and it's helped set up a possible score here in the second quarter.
And they've hooked up a number of times throughout the season. You see Clint Trickett's numbers this year: 68 completion percentage, 12 touchdowns, averaging 436 yards a game. And they hooked up early in the game for a touchdown between the two of those guys. They have great rapport with one another.
36-yarder. Trickett dancing out of the pocket. Wants to throw, doesn't. Traffic, dangerous. Crowd wants a flag. I don't see one at the goal line. Kevin White was the intended receiver. And now I see one. Yellow is in the end zone.
Pass interference. Number 28, defense.
That's the 4th.
Third in the end zone. Ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
4th pass interference call against Baylor secondary.
Well, Clint Trickett came out of that timeout off the sidelines with his mind made up where the ball was going. It was going to Kevin White. And so did Baylor. Baylor knew that too. So they put 2 defensive players to try to stop him. They couldn't. They were able to be draped all over him and forced a pass interference.
Trickett with 1st and goal, goes under center. Handoff straight ahead. Bowie trying to push the pile and just a little short. Crowd taking a breath. Took a shot up high and stopped his momentum. Hager put the lick on Bowie. 2nd down and goal. Bowie cut back over the top. Touchdown, West Virginia. And Ryan Neese, despite 3 turnovers in the first half, a PAT to come, could put the Mountaineers on top of 4th-ranked Baylor.
Andrew Bowie put on a clinic right there for all the running backs out there. When you're at the goal line, you want to get slow to the spot and then fast through. When you see the opening, you want to dive through. Smart football job, excellent job by that young man. Able to dive in for the end zone.
Josh Lambert with the PAT. Elijah Wellman, nice block to free Bowie to go over the top.
And Bowie's not a big guy. He had to be patient. Got the nice block by Elijah Wellman. Was able to dive over the top for the touchdown with Bill Bennett, defense coordinator. You can see his frustration. He knows his defense has to find a way to settle down. They need to find a way to play better and rise up in that occasion. They have the players, Bryce Hager. They need their leaders right now to step up, calm this defense down, and get back playing the Baylor football.
(14-13). West Virginia over 4th-ranked Baylor. 6 plays, 74 yards, less than 3 minutes off the clock. And Bowie over the top from 1 yard. Ready to kick is Michael Molinari. Now the ball comes off the tee for the 2nd time, and it has some help. Good kick with the wind behind his back. No return on a knee is Clay Fuller. College football continues. 15th ranked Oklahoma State battles TCU on Fox Sports 1. Then Nebraska will battle Northwestern on the Big Ten Network. In the nightcap, Washington squares off against 9th ranked Oregon on Fox Sports 1. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
TCU got to find a way to respond after that frustrating loss last week to these Baylor Bears. We have another big test against Oklahoma State.
Now 61-58. TCU loss, a heartbreaker. Callahan with that 28-yard field goal to win it for Baylor. Petty going back to work. Couple of receivers right on, bunched up on the same spot at the 35-yard line, and Coleman came away with it.
You had Corey Coleman, number 1, and Katie Cannon, the freshman. I'm going to say it was probably the freshman's fault on that situation to be in the same spot, but Coleman concentrated and was able to secure the catch.
Linwood just past the 35-yard line.
Communicate, keep coming up the fucking ball.
Tony Gibson.
Find your ass up.
Petty in the pocket. It breaks down. And I was just talking about the defensive coordinator, Tony Gibson. What was he telling his defense, Ryan? Go after Petty. He doesn't like pressure.
Doesn't like pressure. He doesn't like when his receivers are disrupted at the line of scrimmage. All of a sudden, when Petty gets pressure, gets uncomfortable in that pocket, it starts to collapse on him. He's athletic enough to escape, but he wants to go for that home run. Right there, he hung on the ball too long.
Kwiatkowski, Tonkery bringing heat. Flags down, ball's incomplete, but a flag at midfield. Now another flag's out. Dana Holgorsen trying to keep his troops back behind.
Might have got a push-off offensive pass interference.
Here's a call from Alan Eck. It is on a push and a personal foul against West Virginia.
Or Corey Coleman, number 1 right there. You can see the push-off. He uses his left hand. And anytime you fully extend your arm away from your body, like that's an easy call for the referees.
There were 2 fouls. Pass interference, number 1, defense. 15-yard penalty. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 20, defense. 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
You know, I think
number 20's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul.
So Muldrow, I think he was called for taunt. Did you see him kind of hang over the top of Coleman?
He was hanging around there, but at the end of the day right there, he's trying to find a way to make a hit, try to find a way to bring down the ball carrier. He can't tell if that ball is going to be incomplete. He'd already left his feet, and the receiver dropped the ball. He couldn't control himself.
That gives Baylor a first down. Just under 10 minutes to play in the first half at the 36-yard line. Petty's number 6 of 15. A slow start, 53 yards and a touchdown. Low snap, Petty handles it out of the pocket. Chased from behind and takes a hard hit down at around the 41-yard line. Nick Kwiatkowski chased him down along with Darian Howard. Kwiatkowski, Ryan, middle linebacker, heart and soul of this West Virginia defense out of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Had 11 tackles last week against Texas Tech. He's over 50 now for the season.
He is the leader. He is the emotional leader, the vocal leader for this defense. And one of his favorite players is Luke Kuechly in the NFL. He plays a very similar style of football.
Petty on a pitch out. Chasing down. What a tackle. Tonkery with a shoe top tackle on Linwood.
We just talked about Kwiatkowski. Now we get to see number 37, Tonkery, Both of the linebackers, that's the glue of this defense. When they're flying around making plays, they're able to shut down a number of defenses, a number of offenses, and Tockery comes up with a big TFL right there.
You know what that is? That's wrap and roll.
That's wrap and roll. Anytime you can grab a ball carrier, grab his feet, bring him down to the ball, to the field like that in the open field, a little wrap and roll technique.
All right, listen in. 3rd and long. Baylor 1 of 6 on converting 3rd downs. Petty off his back foot to Goodley. Breaks a tackle. 10, 5, touchdown. Flag down, player down at the 20.
Well, I think they're going to call a flag on Corey Coleman. Came back and crack blocked on the defensive back to spring Goodley right there for the touchdown. I don't think it was the right call, but Goodley once again shows his athleticism, his speed.
Well, finally we see some feet moving. That play stands 63 yards on the touchdown, but a flag's out and a player's down at the 22.
Personal foul. Targeting. Number 1, offense. 15-yard penalty for the spot of foul. The ball will still be on the line to gain. It's 1st and 10. By rule, number 1 is disqualified. The play is under review.
I don't think there's any question on the hard hit by Corey Coleman. Hit him around the chin, and I think for a moment Terrell Chestnut, the lights went out, and he's still down face first.
Well, you hope he's okay, but Corey Coleman, the wide receiver, he's doing everything he can to make a block to spring Goodley. He lowers his shoulder, he puts his shoulder, his right shoulder into the defensive back. I don't think that that's the right call. Once again, it was a violent hit. It was a big-time collision, but his shoulder is well below the chin. It's in the numbers, and that should be a legal hit. It's football. It's physical. Just because it's loud, just because it's violent, doesn't mean you need to throw the flag. And you hope Terrell Chestnut isn't hurt in that situation. You hope that he's able to recover. But Corey Coleman, I thought that was perfect technique by that wide receiver on that block.
Let's go to Los Angeles. I'd like to get the thoughts of Mike Pereira. Mike?
You know, guys, I don't like this targeting rule, never have. Don't like the ejection that goes along with it.
There is no foul for targeting. The play resulted in a touchdown.
So, Mike,
but this was the change, guys. Yes. This was the change that I liked, because although that was a violent hit, you know, it was shoulder to shoulder, and here's the change they made this year. The replay guy looks at it. He determines that it's not targeting, so there's no ejection, but it also takes the penalty off. Last year, this touchdown would have not counted because they would have penalized this from the spot of the foul. But now with this new rule change, perfect example of why they made this change. The touchdown stands and you don't have the targeting penalty.
Mike, I know that doesn't set well with Mountaineer fans, but I'm with you. I think, and Ryan, you made a bold statement, but I'm with you. He hit him on a football play, pad to pad, shoulder pad to shoulder pad, and the replay proved it.
It did. Mike made a great point. I think being able to overturn it, now all of a sudden it results in a touchdown, and that's one of the things that I really enjoy about that rule change, because now it results in a touchdown. An excellent job offensively by Bryce Petty to find his wide receiver, Antoine Goodley, found the mismatch against Terrell Chestnut because Darrell Worley is out with an injury, number 7, who was matched up with him all day long, and all of a sudden you get a touchdown out of it. Good call.
Mike, you still have a thought?
No, I just, you know, this game's a little chippy and they're working hard to keep it under control, but that was a good job of picking that flag up.
Yeah, well said. Mike Pereira in Los Angeles. The extra point true in Baylor, up by 6 on Fox Sports 1. Welcome back to Fox Sports College 1 football presented by Geico. And Baylor retakes the lead here at West Virginia, 20-14. Here's a touchdown, and you can hear that collision. Violent hit. The flag went out. Actually, targeting was the original call, and it was going to be Corey Coleman off the field. It was reversed. The touchdown stands. and the 4th touchdown reception of the year for Antoine Goodley. 17 tosses now for Bryce Petty. Spencer Evans on a short kick. 18-yard line. Gibson works his way near the 30-yard line. Time for a game break. Let's go to Los Angeles, and here's Greg Wolf.
Okay, thanks. They are going back and forth at Memorial Stadium on 3rd and goal. K-State's Jake Waters finds Tyler Lockett, who torched the Sooners a couple of years ago. 9-yard score. Number 14, K-State leads number 11, Oklahoma, 21-17, second quarter. Craig, Ryan, back to you.
All right, thank you, Greg. Back and forth there, back and forth here. You see the Big 12 standings. Baylor, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, West Virginia. A win today would put them in the thick of the race as well. And that ball's incomplete off the hands of Bowie. That stops the clock. 8:17 to play in the first half. And despite 3 turnovers by West Virginia, down only 6.
They're down only 6, and this is an important drive right before the half. 8 minutes left in the clock. Andrew Bowie's coming out of the backfield. They're trying to find a way to get him the football. But let's not be surprised if they don't try to find a way to get Kevin White down the field for an explosive play.
On the ground, Dreamus Smith. 2 yards, maybe 3 to the 33-yard line.
When we talked to Phil Bennett the other day, Craig, one of the things he said, we have to find a way to get off the field on 3rd downs, and we have to eliminate explosive plays.
3rd down 7. Trickett on a play action. Up top, man coverage. No flag. Double coverage coming over to help as Mario Alford has terrific vertical speed. And that time Trickett tried to take advantage of it. And off the field comes Baylor.
Mario Alford can flat out fly. He is a vertical threat right there. He got shoved out of bounds and wasn't able to get open and give his quarterback any target to be able to hit him for that deep ball.
Good punt. Takes a West Virginia roll. Right at the 9, make it the 11-yard line. We'll step aside. Good one in Morgantown. Baylor 20, West Virginia 14 on Fox Sports 1. You don't think this game's emotion? Ryan Neesh, you know it well, playing at UCLA and Tampa Bay. That's Darryl Worley, who was shaken and hurt. Now he's on the bench in the tears of frustration and pain.
He's one of the vocal leaders for this team, and he got injured early on. And I promise you, it's not just the injury. You can see where he gets hurt, fell on the football, he hurts his side. That's part of those tears, is his ability not to be on the field with his teammates. His inability now to not be on the field to lead his team. And it hurts as a player when you're not out there with your troops.
Play action goes Petty. Pressure throws. Pitch and catch near side out of bounds at the 23-yard line is K.D. Cannon. True freshman out of Mount Pleasant, Texas. To this ground game of Baylor, haven't seen much. They lead the Big 12 at over 250 yards a game. Today, less than 2 yards a touch. Low snap, Petty handles it. Out of the pocket he goes. Pressured from behind, and down he goes at the 15-yard line. Shaq Riddick. Relentless. 6'6", 242. And a transfer out of Gardner Webb with the sack.
Shaq Riddick's going to come right around the screen. He beats a double team, uses his arm strength, and then he uses relentless pursuit and heart and effort to get to Bryce Petty. That's the kind of effort that you love to see as a defensive coordinator.
First sack of the game for West Virginia on Petty. Now, 2nd down and 17. Under 7 minutes to play. Second quarter, Petty in the pocket. Throws up top, ball's put away. Incomplete. Good coverage. Ishmael Banks. The senior knocked it away from Cannon.
Ishmael Banks has to find a way to rise up. He comes in, he reads the curl route. Does an excellent job with his feet to be able to transition out of that break. He gets out of his back pedal, plants his leg in the ground, drives in, and breaks up that pass.
Big 3rd down once again for West Virginia. You hold Baylor here, you've got pretty good field position with time and timeouts left before halftime. They load up the top side with 4 wide receivers. And now timeout, West Virginia.
Timeout, West Virginia.
They had not seen that formation with 4 wide stacked up high.
30-second timeout.
That's a funky formation, and obviously they wanted to find a way to come to the sideline and make a couple corrections because Baylor had something up their sleeve. They were looking for a mismatch, and it probably was going to come. Smart timeout right there in that situation.
Let's send you out to Rob Stone in Los Angeles.
Coming up on the AT&T halftime, we'll tell you about the big injury at number 14 Kansas State and number 11 Oklahoma. Plus, we'll preview the second game of our triple header. Number 15 Oklahoma State at number 12 TCU. Why our guys are so high on the Horned Frogs.
All right, thank you. Looking forward to that. Just 6:40 away from taking you back to Los Angeles. Another busy day of college football. Really now just revving up.
The Mountaineer fans are on their feet. They know this is a big third down. Their defense just called a timeout to make some corrections. And Baylor's come out in that same exact formation. Let's see how they match up to it.
Third and 17. Petty in the pocket. Quick throw. He has blockers out front. Coleman. And he's chased out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Well short of the first down, so Petty and company come off the field, and Baylor will punt away.
I got to give a lot of credit to both of these defenses today. It's 20-14 Baylor, but these defenses are flying around. They're getting off the field on third down, and they're giving their offense a chance to get really good field position.
West Virginia's coming for the block. They don't have anybody back.
They don't have a return man right now.
Roth inside his own 10-yard line. Long snap count. Here they come! And a high hanger into the wind. And it does take a Baylor bounce inside the 35. They'll mark it at the 34-yard line. Oh, West Virginia, they brought the heat.
The special teams coach dialed up a little play, tried to go for the block, brought an extra man to come in to create mismatches at the line of scrimmage. Baylor played smart football right there. They were able to protect the punter. And the punter was able to get the ball off his foot quicker. He counted 2, Craig. Anytime the punter sees extra players in the line of scrimmage, he's going to try to get the ball out a little bit faster just because he knows there's no return man back there.
44-yard punt. West Virginia with the football at their own 34. 5:57 to play on a timeout. Down 20-14 here in Morgantown. Trickett rolls to his right, middle of the field. Has a man up top, bump, incomplete. Mario Alford and Trickett lost his hat nearly. And there is a flag out. Multiple flags in this first half of play.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 9, defense, 10-yard penalty, first out.
That's Ryan Reed out of Sherman, Texas, a sophomore, and boy, did Trickett feel the heat.
Well,
got him right on the chin.
He's 186, and Andrew Billings is 300 pounds, and he's flying in there and hit him right under the chin. Trickett didn't like that.
It's like throwing around a sack of potatoes. Trickett, delay. Here comes Dreamus. First down, 44-yard line. Dreamus Smith, 217-pound back out of Wichita, Kansas, 11-yard pickup.
That was a well-designed play right there from Trickett. Fake the pass, hand it off for the draw.
To the ground, Smith hits the edge, stiff arms, picks up more yards. Late flag at the 35. Raining flags in Morgantown.
Everywhere we go, we see yellow.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Number 11, defense. 15-yard penalty. Force the end of the run. First out.
All right, Taylor Young with the personal foul.
Taylor Young right there, number 11, gets his right hand up in the face and leaves his hand up in there. That's an easy call for the referee.
You know, you got to tip your hat to Mike Pereira. He told us a few minutes ago, look, the officials know this game's gotten chippy, and they're really trying their best, Ryan, to try to keep this game under control.
They're trying. They're throwing a lot of flags to slow down the momentum, but they're seeing the calls and they're making them.
9 flags here in the first half against Baylor. Remus Smith hands off, up the right side on second effort, past the 20 and pushes down to the 18-yard line. He was behind the block of Cody Clay, number 88.
Spread offense, you don't see a lot of lead blocks, but Cody Clay, 88, did a nice job filling the hole and putting his pads right on the defensive player right there.
So those H-backs never get any love. Wellman's had a nice block as well today. Now they try the left side with Smith. Follows his blockers. Nice run, strong run. Clay again with a tackle out front to the 9-yard line.
We just talked about Cody Clay. And once again, he's going to lead up in the hole. And you can watch 88 right in the right side of your screen. Gets his hands on Stewart, 28, drops him. I like that. I like when a guy leads blocks like that. Smart.
Timeout.
Baylor will use a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining. West Virginia has 1 as they are on the move with 4:28 remaining. Phil Bennett, defensive coordinator. You see him, he's fired up and wants a word with Bo Blackshear.
Well, he wants a word with all his defensive players. He's going to bring them over. Phil Bennett's an emotional leader. We talked to him. I love the way he coaches. I love his coaching style. It's all centers around discipline and accountability. And right now, he has to talk to his players about accountability and filling their gaps in this run game. There's a number of gaps and holes that are opening up for West Virginia, and they're taking advantage of them.
Well, he's got his linebacker coach, secondary coach, a D-line coach. They're trying to figure things out.
A lot of emotion.
Oh, absolutely. 4th ranked in the country. High expectations for Baylor. Won the Big 12 last year. West Virginia on the ground today, 91 yards against a pretty stout Baylor front.
And Phil Bennett, the defensive coordinator for Baylor, they have a chip. The entire defense has a chip on their shoulder. You know, TCU exploited them, had a number of points last week, had all kinds of yards. They came into this game knowing that they were facing another big-time offense, an explosive offense. They wanted to find a way to come down and shut this team down. West Virginia's bringing it to this defense here early in this first half.
Trickett from the gun. Right behind him is Smith. Gets a full head of steam, breaks a tackle, walks in, touchdown, West Virginia. Remus Smith, and I got to say it, Ryan Needs, a dream of a drive.
I like the way you capped that off, and that was a dream of a drive. And Remus slips into the end zone untouched, and Phil Bennett, defensive coordinator for Baylor, is extremely frustrated right now.
PAT would put West Virginia on top. Josh Lambert has not missed a PAT this season, and he chips it up and through the uprights. And what do you know? West Virginia up on 4th-ranked Baylor, 21-20.
Well, Remus got the ball in the end zone, but the work was done by the offensive linemen, opening up the holes, creating seams. And once again, Cody Clay, 88, leading through the hole, getting up to the 2nd level and getting another key block. And the receivers even working down the field. Wow, impressive run right there.
That was right after a timeout called by Baylor, and Phil Bennett will have a lot to say at halftime. On that drive, Remus Smith, 5 touches for 41 yards on the ground. And how about the drive? 1:36 off the clock, 5 plays, 66 yards.
66 yards, an impressive drive, being able to put a number of plays together, moving the chains and eating up the clock, and most importantly, keeping Baylor's offense off the field.
Molinari with the kick. Goal line. Clay Fuller runs out of a tackle and is popped out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Ryan Needs, his last drive, it was all on the ground.
Well, it was a steady dose of run plays. They started off with the draw. They took advantage of Baylor's defense. They saw the opening. The opening is on the offensive line there where the offensive line was created. And the running backs did all the work. They lowered their pads. They found the seams. They were patient with their holes and got into the end zone. And Dreamus capped it off with an excellent job. He touched the ball the entire drive. I mean, he is their go-to running back right now. He is hot.
Hey, look at the rushing yards. 3-1 for West Virginia. Shock Linwood taken down by the ankles at the 21. Nice tackle by Carl Joseph, the strong safety. He's the old man of this secondary, making his 32nd career start today, but only a junior.
He's got a lot of playing time, a veteran back there.
Baylor trying to run again, nothing. Linwood, no gain. 3rd down. What you love about college football, the emotion. And the emotion of a hometown crowd.
And you can hear it right now. We can listen in. This crowd is fired up. They're on their feet, and they're cheering for their team.
Are they thinking upset? You bet they are. Baylor 4th ranked, down 1 on the road. Petty. Good protection. Fires. Incomplete. Fuller, the intended receiver, has been a rough first half for Bryce Petty. And Baylor will punt.
Another huge stop on 3rd down by Tony Gibson's West Virginia defense. They were aggressive. They covered all the wide receivers. And right now, if you look at Bryce Petty's body language, he looks extremely frustrated. And once again, they're going for the block, Craig. No return man. They're coming after this punter.
Spencer Roth at the 6-yard line. Here comes West Virginia. Roth the kick. Last time he got a Baylor roll. Does a beautiful job. And another Baylor Bear roll inside the 15. Rolling to the 10. To the 9. Beautiful punt by Roth. Averages 41 yards a kick. That one travels 69 yards.
A lot of competitive fire on the football field. A lot of chippiness flying around, a lot of extracurricular activities. Both of these teams are playing with a ton of emotion, and they're leaving it all on the football field.
And Ryan, we talked about it before. You would think there's a long history between Baylor and West Virginia. Not the case. This is game 3.
This is game 3, but you can tell this is a start of a rivalry that's going to go on for a number of years. Both of these teams do not like each other. Both these teams play very similar styles of football.
Hand off to Smith. He's tossed, whistles.
Well, we brought up Andrew Billings, number 75, at the beginning of the game. He had that sack fumble, created that turnover. He plays with a violence and a physicality that you love. He is going to be a star at the next level.
A loss of 2, 2nd down and 12. Smith, maybe a yard, back to the 8 or 9 yard line. Taylor Young knocked him down. Young, a redshirt freshman.
Timeout. Baylor, their second charge of the half.
Baylor will use their second timeout.
Game clock to 2:18. 2:18.
And they'll put a second back on the game clock at 2:18. Make sure you stay close. Coming up is the AT&T Fox Sports 1 College Football halftime. Rob Stone, Joel Klatt, and the coach, Dave Wanstead. We'll update you back in Los Angeles. Big injury for number 11 Oklahoma. And we'll talk about the Big 12 showdown later between Oklahoma State and TCU. 15th ranked Cowboys, 12th ranked Horned Frogs. This is the first of a triple header on Fox Sports 1.
A lot of good football at TCU, Oklahoma State. We thought that this game had a lot of points. That game's going to have a lot of points as well. Interesting enough, Craig, one of the things that we talked about, Dana Holgorsen, West Virginia had its best week of practice that he's ever had since he's been here as a coach. It's translated now to why they're playing at such a high level today.
Trickett in his own end zone. Stands, throws. Daddy throw. in triple coverage at the 25 to Keel Shorts. The inside receiver came back and helped Trickett. An 18-yard reception for Shorts out of Clayton, New Jersey. Trickett dances in the pocket, throws. The flag's out on a pitch and catch. And Bowie could not escape the grasp. Got a flag, however, out.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Number 2, defense. 15-yard penalty enforced from the end of the run. First down.
That's Sean Oakman.
Sean Oakman on the right side of your screen, number 2. He gets a little chip in his face, and all of a sudden he retaliates, and he tries to use his strength and gets his hand right up under the neck of the offensive lineman. We've seen that penalty called a number of times today. These defensive players, defensive linemen have to be aware the referees are looking for this.
Boy, this is not going to please Art Briles. Today, 10 flags in the first half, 117 yards. The catch. Kevin White. He's been the main target for Trickett in the first half of play. A pickup of 5. The clock is under 1:20. West Virginia with a timeout. Baylor with one to spend if they need to. Bowie in the backfield. Pressure. Trickett taken down at the 38. Taylor Young came up the middle untouched. And that's his 3rd sack of the season.
Well, as soon as they motioned to empty, they didn't have an extra player back there to block the linebacker who came on the blitz. And Trickett wasn't able to see this hot read, wasn't able to get the ball out of his hands. And Taylor Young flies in there and gets the sack.
Under a minute to play. 3rd down. Entertaining first half. Remember, Baylor will have the football to start the second half of play. Pressured again is Trickett. Throws it to flat. Room to run. Here comes Bowie. Powers his way past the 40 and game tackled at the 37. But what do I see?
A late flag.
Long discussion. Alan Eck and his crew had busy first half. And the conversation continues.
Well, they got to figure out where to spot the ball. There's a lot of things that come to play when you throw a flag in this situation. It was a well-designed play right there, too, Craig. They ran a screen play. Trickett was patient. He got a lot of pressure. He waited, found the open receiver. Did you see Trickett look like he was going to throw the yellow flag?
Yeah, I think that kind of shows maybe his sense of humor. Yeah, he's smiling, but I'm not sure that sets well with the guys in stripes.
I think he was trying to teach him throwing technique, as many flags as they've thrown today. He was trying to work on their arm strength.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 64, offense. 5-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down. The pass was caught beyond the line of scrimmage.
Hard to miss the big right guard, Mark Glowinski at 6'5", 312.
The guard right here, number 64, he's going to creep down the field, and they're setting up the screen. But because Trickett gets pressure, he has to escape out of the pocket, and that screen takes a little bit longer to develop. And you see the 64 further down the field, and the ball was caught beyond the line of scrimmage. If it was caught behind the line of scrimmage, that would have been fine. But in that situation, it wasn't, and now you had a legal man down the field.
Free previous play ruling of the pass caught beyond the line of scrimmage is under further review.
So now the review takes it upstairs. Don Caprell will get a view.
And they want to get this call right. It was 3rd down. The drive was going to continue. 21 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, past midfield.
Well, you can see where the line of scrimmage is right here. And all of a sudden, the ball has to be caught behind that line. And he is right on that line. Andrew Bowie is. That's going to be a hard call to overturn in that situation.
Well, it's under official review. Let's check in back in Los Angeles and get Mike Pereira's view. Mike?
Well, 2 things here. I don't think this is reviewable in the first place. The quarterback, you can review whether he is across the line when he throws the pass. But I've never heard of this one being reviewable. But nevertheless, to me, he is not beyond the line. So therefore, it's not an ineligible receiver downfield. Number 64 had drifted about 3 yards down. But watch where the ball, now just focus on that blue line, and I know it's unofficial.
Pass is caught behind the line of scrimmage. Therefore, there is no foul for an eligible receiver downfield. The play resulted in the first down at the Baylor 37-yard line. The play ended inbounds. The game clock will start on my signal.
And Mike, you were spot on yet again, but you're right. The blue line was the magic line, and clearly about a half a yard behind it, and the play stands, and they're going to move the ball back up inside the 35-yard line.
Yeah, you know, it's the right decision in replay. I just question whether or not, and I got to go back and look at the books, but I don't know that this is reviewable, period. But I will go back and check, and maybe that's what they're discussing a bit now.
Yeah, they are.
Maybe along with clock issues.
Yeah, still having the conversation. Now they set the clock, and it's going to start on Alan Eck. Whistle, and there we go. 20 seconds left. Thank you, Mike Pereira, as we close in on the half here in Morgantown. Trickett trying to set up a trick play. Ball came out. Incomplete. Official jumps in and waves it incomplete. Kevin White, the intended receiver. That stops the clock. 11 ticks left. And if needed, West Virginia with a timeout.
Xavier Howard sniffed that out right when that play started, was able to get in there and disrupt that pass. He triggered and broke that pass up quickly. Defeated the block and got in there and broke that ball up.
Backs are split in the gun. Now they send a man in motion. Trickett throws over the middle, incomplete. 5 seconds remaining. He wanted Alford with that breakaway vertical speed.
Well, they weren't going to try to settle for a field goal. They're trying to go for the shot right there. They came up a little bit short. Now it's 3rd down. Looks like they're going to set up for a long field goal.
Why not? Lambert hit 55 last week in the win against Tech. A 55-yarder. This will be marked down at the 44. This will be from 54. 3 for 3 this season from 50 and beyond. And now Baylor will try to do a late freeze on Lambert.
Always try to ice the kicker. You got timeouts. Might as well use them.
Let's take you back to last week in that wild 37-34 win. The comeback by West Virginia. Lambert, 55 and even more to spare. No question. Through the uprights in West Virginia.
He's got a big-time leg. What was impressive about that field goal was the height. Right when it left off the ground, the height that it had to clear the line of scrimmage and go in for the field goal. That just shows his leg strength.
This will be from 54 yards. Trying to add to their 1-point lead on 4th-ranked Baylor. Good snap, kicks up. Is it long enough? Got it! From 54! We have flags. But first, the 54-yard boot from Lambert.
Just when you thought the half was over, Lambert with a huge kick, showing off his leg strength, we get a yellow flag.
Personal foul, number 2's defense. Number 2, the field goal was good. The personal foul will be carried over to the second half kickoff. That's the end of the first half.
Sean Oakman to right end. He's been an emotional player for Baylor all first half. Dana Holgerson with a smile. Up 4 on 4th-ranked Baylor. We go to Rob Stone in Los Angeles.
Greg, Ryan, thank you. We welcome you to the AT&T Fox Sports 1 College Football Halftime, mobilizing your world. Josh Lambert for team MVP, his 4th straight game with a field goal of at least 50 yards. It's tight in Morgantown, sloppy, chippy first half as well. Coach, why is Baylor having their offensive issues today?
Well, let's give West Virginia credit, and let's get right down to the nitty-gritty. West Virginia is, I think, playing more physical. They're playing faster, and athleticism, they're matching player for player with Baylor. I mean, they're playing. The biggest reason that I see watching the first half, they hired Tony Gibson last year. They bring him in, a new defensive coordinator, old Rich Rod assistant. He brings in, Joel, we talked about it, the 3-3-5 defense. That's different. That's like going from a spread offense one week to a wishbone the next. Completely different. Last week, Baylor, Bryce Petty, makes most of the checks at the line of scrimmage. He's defending, making the calls versus TCU's 4-3 defense.
Right.
This is completely different. There's some hesitation on coverages, pressures that West Virginia's bringing against him in this 3-3-5 defense. And when you have indecision in this offense, you're not going to be sharp.
So a couple of things. One is the 2 most prominent spread attacks, with apologies to Auburn and Gus Malzahn, I would say are Baylor and Oregon. I think that has been the case for the last 4 or 5 years. Well, guess which games they've struggled the most offensively? Against 3-3-5 defense. Rich Rodriguez in Arizona go up to Oregon. They give them all sorts of trouble, get the win. And now a Rich Rod, old assistant at West Virginia, giving Baylor all sorts of fits with that 3-3-5 defense. It's a schematic nightmare for the spread offense because the 3-3-5 has 2 different safeties that you can put all over the field, so they adjust to the spread offense better than any other defense in the country. It's quite the X's and O's matchup, the chess game being played out right now.
Remember, the Bears, the highest scoring team in the nation, 52.7 points per game, just 20 at the break. There's going to be plenty of moving and shaking in the Big 12 standings today. In Norman, it's a top 15 showdown between a pair of one-loss teams, the sides from K-State and Oklahoma. Next, and we'll stay in the Big 12, and we'll preview Game 2 of our tripleheader today here on Fox Sports 1. Oklahoma State at TCU, both still very much alive in the Big 12 title mix.
AT&T Fox Sports 1 College Football Halftime.
Bryce Petty with his 16th touchdown pass of the season gave the Bears an early 7-0 lead at the break, though. Number 4 Baylor down 4 in West Virginia. Here's our 13-member college football playoff rankings. Mississippi State, Florida State, Ole Miss, Baylor. That is your Fox 4, followed by Notre Dame, Oregon, Auburn, Alabama, Michigan State, and a tie at number 10 between TCU and Oklahoma. The AP poll has Oklahoma at number 11, a chance to get themselves deep into the college football playoff conversation today if they could get by number 14 Kansas State. The Sooners, though, they would face early adversity at the quarterback position. Let's take in the highlights right now. Trevor Knight, first quarter, he's going to run for it outside. He's going to be short of first down, but he's going to come up holding that left shoulder.
Yeah, was that a slide, or he got to protect himself? Huh?
It was on feet first, really, and there was a flag on the play, a targeting on the fullback for Oklahoma. He spins back. Absolutely correct call. Can't lead with the crown of the helmet like that. He was ejected.
Aaron Ripkowski gone late in the first quarter. Jake Waters, Glenn Gronkowski. Take us through it, Coach.
Well, you know what? This is a play that you might run once every 5 games. Your fullback either usually gets the ball or he's a blocker, your running back in the spread. This time he releases down the middle of the field. This is not a good play if you got a single high safety, but if you're in a 2 deep, which they were in, it's a great call by Coach Schneider in Kansas State.
Second quarter, Trevor Knight back on the field and backed up, and maybe a bad decision. Pick 6, Denzel McDaniel.
Kansas State always been opportunistic under their head coach, Bill Snyder, but I love this. The comeback. You make a mistake, the very next drive finds his best wide receiver, Sterling Shepard, for the big touchdown. That's what you want out of your quarterback. Short memory, answering the bell.
Jake Waters at the half, 9 of 12, 155, and 2 touchdowns with a big pickup to Tyler Lockett.
I like the coverage there. They just took bad angles to the ball, Joe. You know, they were in good position. Make the play.
And Lockett gets it in for his touchdown. Lockett's just a sensational player.
K-State, they've won 42 straight when leading at the break. First meeting between Iowa and Maryland. This one in College Park. C.J. Brown avoiding the sack, scrambles upfield, gets the first down. 2 plays later, it would be Wes Brown from 1 yard out. Put the Terps up 17-14. That's where they are now in the third. Purdue at Minnesota, second quarter. Boilermakers up 4. Aston Appleby, D'Angelo Yancey. Purdue up 31-20 at the break.
The team's getting better, Coach.
Yeah, and Minnesota, they're competing. The Big Ten West Conference is all wide open right now.
That's right.
I mean, everybody's in. Everybody's alive.
South Carolina winners of 21 straight regular season non-conference games, hosting Furman, Dylan Thompson, Jarrell Adams. Gamecocks rolling.
I mean, can we have the SEC not play Furman in October and November? My goodness.
Let's go inside the headset presented by AT&T. Let's go back to Norman. And Joel, what's that offensive mindset when you're backed up near your own end zone?
A couple of things as a quarterback. One, I never loved to throw just straight drop back pass, Coach, and you would know that as a play caller. And then another thing that you've got to do is you've got to mess with the snap count. You want to go on 2 or a hard 3 because the 5 free yards that you would get with an offsides is much more penalizing to the defense than if you jumped off on your own side and you only had to go half the distance. And then here's the other part. I would never throw an outbreaking route to the field, especially against a jam corner. A severe mistake there from Trevor Knight.
The call was a good call. I mean, on the other side, you know, most of the time they're trying to stop you down there. Hey, when I was at the Dolphins, we didn't even have any in-breaking routes coming off the goal line. Everything, you throw the ball outside, but not into a press corner. That's all on the quarterback.
If you're going to throw the ball, have a big play-action fake and maybe try to get the ball down the field, something like a corner route towards the sidelines. I agree with you. Is some mismanagement there from Oklahoma, and that's why when you make mistakes against a well-coached team in Kansas State, they're liable to beat you, and they're up on OU.
And they've just increased that lead, tacked on a field goal. It's now 24-17 Kansas State. Back in West Virginia, where this Clint Trickett to Kevin White hookup leveled things at 7. Mountaineers up 4. Second half, keys to this one on the backside.
College football halftime.
Big day of college football continues. Number 15, Oklahoma State takes on number 12, TCU on Fox Sports 1. Then number 19, Nebraska, Northwestern. That's on the Big Ten Network. Nightcap, Washington. Number 9, Oregon.
Good one.
Back here on Fox Sports 1. Let's discuss what's next here on Fox Sports 1. TCU back at home after that late loss to Baylor last week. Some might be concerned about their mindset. You're not one of them. Why?
I'm not. I think that offensively, they've just turned the corner. When you look at what they've been able to do this year with their new offensive coordinators, Doug Meacham and Sonny Cumbie, they're running more plays. They're scoring more points. In fact, 18 more points per game through the first 5 games this season as opposed to the first 5 last season. They're just a totally different team with Boykin at quarterback. Now, he will have a brace on that wrist. It's his non-throwing wrist, so it shouldn't affect him too much, but you have to watch that early in the game. I love Catalon and Listenby. These guys are fast, and I think that's what they're doing is attacking people with not only the tempo of their offense, but the speed of their skill position as well.
And defensively is where is Gary Patterson's trademark. We know that. 8 out of 14 years at TCU, top 10 in the nation. They're going to come out and play gangbusters. And Mike Gundy, I love Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy, we agree, is doing a great job. Youngest team, quarterback change, and the youngest team in the Big 12. It's going to be tough.
Bad combo.
It is.
TCU can now outscore you.
That's right.
That's the big thing. TCU can put up the points. Let's go back to Morgantown right now. Coach, you're Dana Holgerson. Right now, you're sitting there in that locker room. You got yourself a nice little 4-point lead over the number 4 team in the land. You have to be feeling confident now and down the road as well today.
Well, if you're Dana Holgerson, you are. I mean, the locker room's fired up. Everybody's excited. He knows all the statistic things. Players don't get into that. The message as a head coach to my team is, guys, that team we're playing over there in the other locker room, hey, we have to be prepared to win this thing in the last 2 minutes of the game. We did it against Texas Tech. We did it against Maryland. Hey, Josh Lambert, we got the best field goal kicker in the country. He may even know his name, huh? You think he'll know his name? He may just say, we have a field goal kicker. Who knows what Dana's going to say.
That's right.
But get your team mentally ready for 4 quarters and winning in the end.
You know, okay, so this is the first time in their program's history that they've faced a top 5 team at the time of the contest 3 times in the same season. Earlier, the 2, Alabama, they were down by 3 at half. They were tied with OU at half of that ball game. Now they're up. Have they learned their lesson from those 2 matchups to take this out and actually finish the deal? That's what I'm going to be watching for. And then a couple of players that are not on the field that's really going to affect them, especially with the way Baylor throws the football. Both corners have left the game in the first half. Darrell Worley, who's an NFL caliber player, and Terrell Chestnut, who was the one injured on that targeting that was then removed for the touchdown for Baylor. That's going to be a big deal because Goodley is a fantastic wide receiver down the field.
Kevin White, Baylor's got to get an answer for him. I mean, he's the best receiver maybe in the country.
And officiating will continue to be a big part of this one. A chippy affair, some interesting calls, a lot of pass interferences as well. Yes, Mike Pereira has plenty
Mike's going to take care of
about the officiating.
That's right.
Should be a fun second half, and we'll kick it off next after the break.
Halftime in Morgantown. Craig Bolerjack along with Ryan Neese. Maybe a halftime upset alert. Hits 24-20 West Virginia on 4th-ranked Baylor. And that's despite 3 turnovers by the Mountaineers. And they're up 4.
Well, West Virginia's offense got it rolling in the passing game. Clint Trickett obviously went to his favorite wide receiver, Kevin Smith. And all of a sudden, he's going to find a way to get down the field. A number of big plays. Clint Trickett was able to open up the passing game. And all of a sudden, the passing game's working. Now that softens up the defense to get the running game going with Dreamin' Smith. And at the end of the half, they're able to cap it off with a field goal to put themselves up 24-20 and the opportunity for an upset.
As we look at our first half stats brought to you by Geico, well, the rush yards maybe surprise you a little bit for Baylor. Only 157 total yards for the Bears, but penalties, Ryan Neese, I'm with you.
Mistakes, undisciplined football. You have turnovers by West Virginia. Craig, you said that right there. And penalties by Baylor. Costly penalties that's allowed West Virginia to stay in this game and are now up 24-20.
Baylor had 9 possessions in that first half. A couple of touchdowns, 2 field goals, 4 punts, and they gave it up once on downs. Good kick with a wind behind him and a knee. Clay Fuller and a touchback. Well, despite kind of a struggle for Bryce Petty, still now 3rd all-time passing J.J. Joe in career passing yards, over 6,000. J.J. Joe, by the way, 11 years in the radio booth calling Baylor football.
Oh, yeah, he knows Baylor football very well. And just to show you Bryce Petty's numbers, those are staggering numbers, very impressive. Now he's coming into the second half. He's down on the road. You can see J.J. right there. Obviously probably talking about Bryce and what he needs to do in the second half to step up.
Talked about his old record, which is now gone. So this crowd alive, they understand the impact of this game. 24-20 as we start the 3rd. Gang tackled. Petty on a keeper. Shaq Riddick on the stop.
We start the first play with a penalty.
Flag comes out.
After the play was over, personal foul, number 6, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Drayvon Henry, a true freshman, the free safety. And they'll take the ball and place it at the 43-yard line.
Well, Drayvon Henry gets a little excited.
That's like playground.
Jumps in late.
That's what you used to do when I did on the playground. You jump on the pile.
If it's wiggling, you're supposed to hit it, but you got to play smart football right there. You don't want to give Baylor any free yards in that situation.
Petty rolls out directs. Now goes back the other way. Shoot top catch by Goodley, and a gain tackle back around the 41-yard line. So a loss of 3 to the 40-yard line. Carl Joseph in on the tackle. Hurry up goes Baylor. 3 wide receivers up top. And from the gun goes Petty. Movement and another flag.
I mean, a meeting of the minds right there. They're trying to figure these out every single call.
Yeah, there's nothing quick about these flags and the outcome. Crowd letting down a chorus of boos. Here's the call from Alanek.
Offside, number 97 defense, jumping into the neutral zone and causing a threatened lineman to react. 5-yard penalty. It's second down.
That's Noble Wachuku. Number 97. So Baylor gets 5 back. It's second down 8. Petty on a quick throw. Far side. Tough catch. And Goodley couldn't break away. He's upended at the 49-yard line.
Ricky Rump, number 14, does an excellent job beating off the defender. He hits the ground like a hot plate. He springs up, and he's able to spring off the ground and tackle Goodley. Nice job right there by that corner.
Third down 4. Petty with a glance to the Baylor sideline. Bears are just 2 of 9 on third down conversions. From the gun. Oh, knocked down. Untouched comes Shaq Riddick. I don't know if Petty had a chance to react or even saw him.
Well, Shaquille Riddick comes so free. It almost looked like he wasn't. He was surprised that he got back to the quarterback so fast. But he lays a lick on Bryce Petty. And this is exactly the game plan this defense wanted to come into this game with. Find a way to hit Petty and hit him often.
Loss of 9. Roth, the punt. Fair catch. Ball comes out. And another flag.
Kick catching interference. Number 16 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So kick return interference, 15 yards as Art Briles paces the sideline. I want to go back to Los Angeles. Mike Pereira, you got the rule book out and talk about maybe the biggest impact play of that first half.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this is a play here that they reviewed and reversed. They called the pass being caught beyond the line of scrimmage and then reversed it to Paul being caught behind the line of scrimmage. There's nothing in the rule book. Here's the replay case book. There's nothing in the rule book that allows them to do this. What you can only do is you can review where passes are touched, but not whether it's behind or beyond, whether it's complete or incomplete, but you can't review that. And that was a 30-yard difference, by the way, which led to that field goal at the end of the quarter, into the half.
Mike, let me follow up with this question to you. How will this be handled then by the Big 12?
Well, I mean, obviously they will take a look at this, and certainly competent people in the replay booth, and the replay rule is confusing, but this is a situation they'll have to deal with because it's a 3-point play, and unless they try to say this is an egregious error, which it's not, to me it doesn't fall into that, and then I think you got to look at what you do with this replay crew.
All right, Mike Pereira in Los Angeles. Thank you for reviewing that. The biggest impact of the first half.
Biggest impact, and these officials have thrown a number of flags, and our Mike Pereira throws a flag on the officials and brings up the rule book.
West Virginia moving the ball past midfield now. Fresh down to the 48. Quick throw in traffic. And down on the knee goes Jordan Thompson.
West Virginia's offense looks very comfortable in this drive. They've had 2 back-to-back runs got positive yards on that, and Clint Trickett throws a strike right there, and now sets up a 2nd and short, an ideal situation for an offensive coordinator.
Pick up a 5, pick up a 5, pick up a 5. That's methodical football. A lot of first downs come with that type of production. He wants the big one. Over the top, had to wait a bit, and another flag's out. It was Alford trying to go vertical against 2 Baylor defenders, and a flag is down at the goal line. So 2 flags, 1 on the far side, 1 at the goal line.
Pass interference, number 13, defense. 15-yard penalty, first out.
That's on Terrell Burt.
Well, it was an underthrown ball. Kevin White was wide open down the middle of the field, and Clint Trickett just underthrows him. But as Kevin White tries to come back for the ball, Terrell Burt, number 13, doesn't get his head around, and that's one of the reasons why he gets the flag. He's not able to look for the ball. He runs right into the wide receiver.
Trickett in the pocket, knocked down. Oh, another flag. Ron, it's tough to play defense on either side of the ball today.
Pass interference, number 4, defense. 15-yard penalty, first out.
Well, Howard matched up again. Guess who? Kevin White comes across the middle. Howard, I think he does an excellent job. He's on the back. He's not using his arms. Maybe he uses too much body in that situation for the referee, and that's why they threw the flag.
13 flags, 162 yards. To the ground and a good hit, knocking Bowie back. And I don't see a flag on this play. You know, there's a fine line between, you know, a flag and just playing football.
There was a fine line, and a lot of calls have been in the gray area. I think you just got to let him play in this type of game.
Trickett straight away. Boy, Bowie upended. Hit thigh high down at the 7-yard line.
This defense is backed up. This defensive line has to rise up and play big, or they're going to keep running right up the middle.
But Bowie lines up behind Trickett. Another handoff. Oh, he's popped. Lost a yard. Bowie took a hit. Colin Brentz, former walk-on. Love this story. He's a 3-year letterman, finally awarded a scholarship his senior year out of Plano, Texas. If you have a dream, live it.
Live it, and he lives it, and he earned that scholarship with his effort, his intensity every single day, and the team loves him. The coaches praise him for his efforts.
Josh Lambert in a try a field goal to mark it down just inside the 25, and it's up and good. 7-point game in Morgantown. West Virginia on top of 4th-ranked Baylor on Fox Sports 1. Presented by Geico's, we take you on a tour around the campus of West Virginia. Love making a visit to the hills of West Virginia.
It's a beautiful campus. This time of year,
well, the colors are in bloom. How about West Virginia up 7 on 4th-ranked Baylor? 9:28 to play, 3rd quarter. Molinari with the kick. 2 yards deep. Goes Fuller. Breaks a tackle 20. Stiff arms his way down to the 33-yard line. Well, Lambert knocked it 24 yards for the field goal. Baylor did not help themselves on this drive, by the way. 3 penalties, 45 yards. 3 minutes off the clock, and it's a 7-point lead for West Virginia.
If they're going to give it to you, take advantage of the opportunity. Offensively, at 7 plays, mixed it in with a little run, a little pass, couple penalties, got points on the board, up 7. Now their defense has to find a way to rise up, because the Heisman candidate, Bryce Petty, he's going to be locked in right now. He's dialing himself in.
escaping the first tackle, Devin Chafin. So Devin, a sophomore, out of Burke Bennett, Texas, picks up 4. He had 10 carries last week, 43 yards and a touchdown. Baylor spreads the field, 5 wide receivers on second down. Petty rolls out, has room. Oh, cut down. And now a flag late at midfield. And Petty is down along that far sideline.
After the play was over, personal foul, number 2, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, the Heisman hopeful is still down.
With the penalty.
Brandon Golson comes in with that late hit on 75, an uncalled for hit. That's a selfish penalty right there. But you hope Bryce Petty's okay.
Well, he's up. His replacement for the time is Seth Russell, sophomore out of Garland, Texas. He's seen some playing time this year behind you because of some of the lopsided victories for Baylor, Ryan. He's thrown for over 640 yards. He can run, averaging 6.2 yards a carry.
He's athletic. He's well built. We've seen him play early in this year, Craig. He's got a strong arm.
Russell sets and throws, and a little behind the wide receiver. It was Goodley. Ricky Rumpf was on coverage. And Petty trying to shake off that hit. He was cut down right in fact knee high.
He was trying to get out of bounds, but he couldn't. He knifed down.
Total yards for Baylor, 156. Penalty yards, 162.
That's an unbelievable stat right there. 162. Self-destructive.
West Virginia, their first charge of the half. Media timeout.
Fans, it's good to see Bryce Petty back. He was shaken a moment ago. Upended by Ricky Rumpf on a run. Caught him about ankle high. Ryan Neese took 2 plays off and he's back.
Ricky Rumpf knifes in there right near the sideline. It was a legal hit. But Petty goes down awkwardly. And all of a sudden, he's back in the game to show his toughness. And he's a fighter. He is a competitor. He's going to try to do everything he can to help his team win.
This crowd is loud. 3rd down and 7, and we'll listen in. Petty went to Goodley. Double coverage. 4th down.
Petty comes back in, throws a strike to his favorite receiver and Goodley, his trusted wide receiver, and Goodley doesn't bail him out and drops the ball. That should have been a 1st down. I know Goodley's going to be disappointed on that play.
Jordan Thompson awaits the punt of Spencer Roth. He's bailed Baylor out more than once today with his right foot. Tries to just sky it and pin it inside the 10. Takes a bounce, they'll down it at the 15. West Virginia will have the football. 7:35 to play in the 3rd, up by 7. College football presented by Geico. And Ryan Neese, make no mistake, the 12th man is alive and well in Morgantown, 60,000 strong. And West Virginia leading 4th-ranked Baylor by 7.
Every Big 12 coach will tell you this is one of the toughest places to play in the Big 12 because of the energy and because of the crowd noise that these fans create.
From a diamond formation, Bowie behind Trickett. Trickett stands up and throws. Over the top, big catch. Pulled down. The ball came out. It was Alford.
Mario Alford, the speedster,
Rolling
number
on the
5.
field, it's a completed pass with the runner down before the ball came out. The previous play is under further review.
Oh, I don't know if he was on the ground or not. They're going to take it upstairs to Don Capperell.
That's going to be close. Alford runs a post pattern. He goes up, secures the catch, but as he's coming to the ground, it looked like his elbow hit the ground before that ball pops out. Let's watch his left elbow.
From that angle, tough to see. Boy, they're stripping it. Close. That ball looks like it's coming out.
After further review, the receiver did not have firm control of the ball. Incomplete pass. It's second down and 10 at the 15-yard line.
I think the officials got it right this time. Mike Pereira has been busy. Let's check in with Mike back again in Los Angeles. Mike, what did you see?
I love that call and replay because he's in the air when he's first contacted, so he's going to the ground to complete the process, and the ball came out. So absolutely correct to reverse that to an incomplete pass.
All right, Mike, you're working overtime with us today. And this one, you had a long day. Triple header on Fox Sports 1.
A lot of action.
Trickett goes to the air. Climbing the ladder, big catch, first down. At the 27-yard line, Alford was able to out-jump Ryan Reed. Both these guys have blazing speed. Reed goes a 4.4 40, and Alford's about the same, if not just a click better.
Alford snagged that one. He secured the catch like a center fielder right there.
Clock runs up on 7 minutes to play in the third. Fresh downs for the Mountaineers. Trickett from the gun on the handoff. Dreamer Smith. Dreamer's had a big second quarter, you remember.
I don't think he threw that at players.
Now Trickett today, 12 of 21, 171 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Last week he went over 300 in that comeback win against Texas Tech. Quick throw near side. Smith can't break the tackle, no gain, and that brings up third down.
Well, Colin Brent's number 38 does an excellent job shielding off the defensive player, the offensive player right there, and turning the ball back to his defense so that they can make that tackle.
Yeah, Burt took care of it. Quick hitter across the middle. First down. Dakeil Shorts was able to break the tackle of Terrell Burt. First down, West Virginia. 15 yards on the pass play. Trickett looks a little shaken. He got his hand caught. You saw that wrist bend in a little bit and the helmet right on top of it.
That's always scary for a quarterback. Anytime they throw a ball and that hand hits a helmet, oftentimes that hurts extremely bad.
First and 10, Mountaineers. Bowie trying to get outside. He's down after a 2-yard pickup at the 45-yard line. We've seen Dreamer Smith, we've seen Bowie, we've seen from Smallwood, but not a lot of Rochelle Shell since the opening quarter in that backfield. Another run play. Bowie knocked down at the 50-yard line.
These are simple lead plays. They're getting a lead blocker. We talked about it earlier. Usually in spread offense, you don't see a lot of two-back sets, but it's been very effective for West Virginia today.
Backs are split. 5 minutes to play. Third down. Trickett. It's like a wave, a tsunami. Went over the top with Brents and Taylor Young.
Well, Taylor Young and Brents come shooting up right from the outside linebacker position, and both of your running backs flare out, and you had nobody left to block. That's going to result in a sack if you keep the ball out of your hands as a quarterback.
O'Toole will punt from his own 25. Good kick. Flag is out. Norwood has it. Takes it right up the middle, and he's knocked down at the 27. 2 flags out. One at the 36, one at the 39.
During the kick, holding, number 3 receiving team. 10-yard penalty enforced from the end of the kick. First down, timeout.
4:29 to play in the third. West Virginia up by 7. On Fox, it's back. The Fall Classic begins as the San Francisco Giants continue their quest for their 3rd championship in the last 5 years. They go to Kansas City to take on those amazing Royals to look to stay unbeaten in the playoffs. Coverage of the World Series begins Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern, only on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Talk about the Fall Classics, the Fall Colors here in Morgantown. Last 4 possessions for Baylor, not good. West Virginia really showing that aggressive nature defensively. Draymond Henry chases down Chafin in the backfield after a pickup, let's say 2 to the 11-yard line. Baylor trying to go hurry up. Punt, punt, punt. Punt has been the word of the day. Pitch and catch near side on the hands of Goodley. And now they're moving. Art Briles says, let's go.
They are rolling, trying to find that rhythm offensively.
And we're timing it. Between that last play, it's up to 11, and the snap comes at 13. Petty out of the pocket, throws far sideline. It's caught and a first down at the 35. Goodley. Got a player down.
Injury timeout.
Player down. Looks like the right tackle, Troy Baker, senior out of Waco, Texas, homegrown, will be back. Gets not one, but about 4 hands off the field. Big man, 6'6", 305. Again, homegrown out of Waco, Texas. First down, Baylor at the 35-yard line. Petty from the gun. Another flag's out. On the hands. Ball comes out. Corey Coleman was breaking free at the 25. Cut down, but a flag back at midfield.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 9, defense. The penalty is declined. The play resulted in a first down.
Oh, holding against K.J. Dillon, the spur. That's a 42-yard completion.
That's the explosive play that this offense is needed. Corey Coleman was in the slot, ran a go route, and found a way to get wide open against K.J. Dillon.
Coleman looked like he was on his way to a touchdown and was cut down. A little stop and go. Nice follow of his blockers up front. Linwood. Check that. Chafin, the ball carrier. That's a pickup of 8. And a second down and short. Got that one off just over 15 seconds. First down as the pile is pushed to 10. Chafin again, the ball carrier.
This offense looks like they're at their best. Having a sense of urgency, putting pressure on the defense. Everybody's in sync. The communication is sound across the board. All led by Bryce Petty.
And this is Baylor football. They ran 109 plays last week. And now whistles
Injury timeout.
As a player's on a knee, and it's going to be an injury timeout. That's Carl Joseph, the strong safety.
Well, coaches always question a player that goes down on a knee and then all of a sudden he gets up to walk off the field. You know, is he down? How hurt is he? Or was he trying to slow down the rhythm of this offense that was starting to find their tempo?
Well, the eye drops are going in. That does give an opportunity for Petty to find his way to the sideline. Time for a Lowe's Never Stop Improving game break. Let's get a quick thought and a highlight from Greg Wolf.
All right, guys.
Objects on the field.
Motions are really boiling, I'm telling you.
And it's boiling over into the stands now. The fans want a piece of it.
That ball is just inside the 1-yard line. 3rd down and goal.
You got 2 wide receivers at the top of the screen. Watch for the little scissor route up at the top. See if they can find a way to get one of those guys open.
Petty from the gun. Hands it off. Second effort, touchdown. Shock, Linwood.
Well, I thought they were going to go to the pass, but right there they said, hey, we're going to stick with the run. We're going to be physical.
You know what? They're bringing it back. They're going to say the knee was down. Now this is going for... There's the hit. Let's see if the knee goes down. I don't see a knee.
I don't see a knee ever touch the ground until he gets in the end zone. He spins, shock, Linwood fights and crawls. That should be a touchdown. They got to review this play.
You look at it from the backside here. That knee low, but never hit the turf. And on 3rd effort, he's in. It's upstairs. Don Caprell under official review.
That's a good look at it right there. Clearly, his knees do not touch the ground until that ball is crossed that goal line.
Hard to see from that angle because of the mass of humanity.
After further review, the ball carrier broke the play in the goal line before he was down. Touchdown.
Touchdown it is. And it's a 1-point game as Shock Linwood kept his feet. Into the end zone he goes.
We haven't called his name a lot, but they needed him to step up right there, and he did it. He fought hard to find a way to put that ball in the end zone. Excellent job by Shock Linwood.
So now,
Number 40,
a chance to tie Chris Callahan with 8 seconds of play in this 3rd quarter. Only had 10 on the field. They got the man. Callahan perfect this season in PATs, a chip shot line drive, and it's up and good. And we're tied at 27. 27 all. And coming up next, college football rolls on. 15th ranked Oklahoma State takes on TCU on Fox Sports 1. Then on the Big Ten Network, check out Nebraska and Northwestern. The nightcap, Washington squares off against 9th ranked Oregon on Fox Sports 1. Coverage begins next on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Nine plays, 92 yards. That's a long drive for Baylor.
It was a long drive, and they needed the answer the bell. I mean, their back was against the wall. They're on the road offensively. They drove the length of the field. They've reestablished momentum. They were physical to end that drive to score that touchdown. Now their defense has to rise to the occasion and see if they can slow down this West Virginia offense that seems to have found their rhythm in the second half.
You saw Clint Trickett warming up, bouncing on that sideline. 27 all, 8 seconds to play in this quarter.
Play clock should have been reset after the touchdown to 38 seconds. Please put 38 seconds on the play clock. Game clock.
These referees have been challenged in every phase of this game.
Every phase. So they add 30. We've got 38 seconds left in this quarter. Ron, we've seen some football in the day, but this ranks as one of the most interesting.
Well, we knew that there was going to be records broken today. We just didn't realize it was going to be in penalties.
Ready to kick away, Spencer Evans. They've kicked away for Mario Alford all day. Gibson's been the main target. And it's Gibson again. Gibson 20-25. Takes a shot and rolls down to the 27-yard line. So West Virginia and Baylor tied at 27 with 31 seconds to play in the third.
Dana Hovis has to be extremely happy with the way his team has played thus far. The game is tied late into the third quarter. Ball's in your hand if you're playmaker Clint Trickett. Now to find a way to drive down the field and put more points on the board.
Smallwood and Smith in the backfield. Trickett, two-step drop on a quick pitch near side to Kevin White. Multiple flags. Don't know if it was a face mask. Ryan, as a player, how difficult is it to play through?
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty, enforced at the end of the run. First down.
How tough is it to play through this type of tempo? Because there is no tempo in this game.
You have to be disciplined. It's extremely tough defensively. Sometimes your technique and your fundamentals can get lackadaisical. You're overthinking. You got to play sound football. And right now, Baylor is playing very undisciplined football. That's why you're seeing a lot of these penalties.
Not a stat that Art Briles is going to like. Over the last 2 games, a multitude of flags. That little bubble screen, middle of the field actually, incomplete around the 45-yard line. Pressure came from Oakman. .11 seconds to play in this third quarter. 27-27. West Virginia, 4th-ranked Baylor. Took it from the gun. Straight away running. Stop and go, and a lean to about the 46-yard line. Smallwood, and the clock's going to wind down to end the third quarter of play. Well, stay close. Have no idea how this one's going to play out. It's been wild from the start. West Virginia trying to upset 4th-ranked Baylor at home. We're tied at 27. Welcome back to Fox Sports 1. College football presented by Geico. As we start the fourth quarter here. Milan Pushkar Stadium in Morgantown, West Virginia. 27-27. Smallwood in the backfield with Trickett. Now the backfield's empty, and they spread it with 5 wide. Movement. Flags.
False start. Number 67, offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
What point are we in the season?
I think it's week 7.
I mean, this isn't week 1. I mean, these are penalties that should be corrected and shouldn't happen at this point in the season.
We'll push it back. And now 3rd down and 13. Looks like Trickett's going with the same exact play as they spread to 5 wide. Looks one way and the other. Beautiful play by Baylor. Bryce Hager, he's been around a while. He saw it coming, and he got the ankles of Alford. 4th down, West Virginia.
Bryce Hager did his scouting report. 44 is flying around, beats the block, understands they're running the slip screen to the wide receiver, knows that's one of West Virginia's special plays, sniffs the ball out, makes the tackle for a loss. Great job by Hager.
He's got great speed as well. Runs the 4.5 40. Norwood on the punt return, and great coverage by West Virginia special teams. Back inside the 15-yard line. That ball may have popped out, and now the players are exchanging a push and a shove.
It gets testy at the bottom of those piles.
That last man out.
Oh, yeah. Oh. A lot of emotion going on down there.
It's 1st down, Baylor. Immediate timeout.
So Baylor at the 9-yard line. Last time they had the ball, they found the end zone to tie the game at 27.
We see the replay right here. The ball does trickle out.
So this play is under review, and did the ball come out? Will step aside. 14:25 to play on Fox Sports 1. Incomplete. Norwood, the intended receiver. Wes Tonkery knocked it away. That brings up 3rd down. Tonkery's played well. Number 37 for West Virginia.
Wes Tonkery, right place, right time. Zone coverage, sits in the zone, works hard to get there, and he gets there right when the ball's being delivered. He's able to break up that pass.
Petty, 214 yards. Last week, 5'10" with 6 touchdowns. Baylor, 3 of 12 on converting 3rd downs. This crowd is alive. Petty. Down he goes at the 26. Brandon Golson. It was like slow motion. Petty had, Ryan, he was counting 5 by the time he was able to try, or thinking about getting rid of the football. And then Golson came out of nowhere and dropped him.
Brandon Golson comes off the edge. It's a 3-man rush. You're going to see him work up the field right towards the quarterback at the bottom, towards the left of your screen. He does an extra job fighting around the offensive tackle. Great job by the secondaries, covering up everybody. Bryce Petty couldn't find anybody. He's had a hard time today.
Yeah, secondary coverage sack. As you made the point, only 3-man rush. Now the punt by Roth. Line drive. Jordan Thompson. Good coverage by the Baylor special teams. And we've got a timeout. Ford having a great time in Morgantown. That takes us to the stats comparison brought to you by the Lincoln Motor Company. What jumps out?
That's an easy one. Look at this. These numbers right through here. I mean, you have to be kidding me. The number of penalties, 15 for Baylor, 11 for West Virginia. We've seen a lot of yellow today.
Yeah, absolutely. And the 3 turnovers early by the Mountaineers. Yet it's a 27-all ball game. Clint Trickett, nice throw, pitch and catch. Kevin White to the 45-yard line. What a special receiver. You can understand why he leads the FBS in receiving yards. He came in with nearly 961 receptions. Oh, what a catch on the back foot. Bowie, 25-20. Bowie takes a high, hard one at the 15. Terrell Burt nearly knocked him out.
Offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson dials up a perfect play against the cover 4. Bowie comes out of the backfield, slips right up the middle of the defense, uncovered. Easy throw for Trickett. An excellent play call.
And 42 yards on the pass play. First down, 15-yard line. Smallwood now in the backfield. Smallwood runs it up to the 12-yard line. Well, there's been some hits. Bowie, I don't know if I ever saw that hit coming.
No, he took a shot at the end of it. He saw the goal line. That's the only thing he was focused on. But as he should have been focused on that, he took a big-time shot, though, when he got tackled.
Smallwood in the backfield. Trickett up top, man coverage. Flags are out. Bingo. Touchdown, White. What a drive. But flags are out. I'm going to guess defensive pass interference.
Pass interference. Number 4, defense. The penalty is declined. The play resulted in touchdown.
Xavier Howard.
We're going to see Xavier Howard once again tries to get in that bump technique. And Kevin White, when he gets off the line of scrimmage, what makes him so elusive is his ability to use his hands, knock the defender away, and find a way to locate that football and use his speed to create separation to give his quarterback a target. That's what makes him an elite wide receiver.
Josh Lambert, point after is good. Upset is brewing in Morgantown. The Mountaineers leading 4th-ranked Baylor by a touchdown. Thanks to that man. Beautiful catch by Kevin White. You gotta love college.
Looks like the fans are just getting warmed up. Just get warmed up that they pull off this upset. They're going to be carrying off all these players like that.
11:36 to play. 34-27 West Virginia. 4 plays, 68 yards. And White's 12-yard touchdown catch puts the Mountaineers on top. Short kick. Hawthorne. Oh. Wow. Okay, the nerves. What could be? 11:31 to play. West Virginia under Dana Holgorsen trying to pull off a big upset in college football.
And a team that doesn't get nervous is Baylor. They were down by 21 last week against TCU. They found a way to come back in that game. They're down here on the road again. They have the offense and they have all the players to get back in this game quickly.
Both these teams rallied last week to set this matchup today. Petty. Handoff. 2 yards. Chafin. I am surprised that we're not seeing Baylor with more plays. Last week, as I mentioned, 109 snaps. A little more methodical here in Morgantown. As Petty takes a glance to that Baylor sideline.
Shaq Pettaway has underneath coverage. He comes in there, has an interception in his sights. He's not able to get the interception, nor is he able to break up the ball. And Goodley does an excellent job concentrating and securing that catch.
First down, Baylor, 32-yard line. Chafin gets the carry and pulls a couple of Mountaineers with him. Good second effort to the 37. Clock runs on, past 10.5 to play.
We haven't seen a lot of explosive plays by Baylor's offense. They're trying to soften up this West Virginia defense by running the ball and then looking to take their shot.
Quick throw. Ball may have been deflected. Incomplete. Goodley, the intended receiver. Third down. And you hear the bell toll in Morgantown.
Well, these fans are on their feet. They're cheering loud. Another big third down for their defense.
Little push. I see no flag. Goodley trying to get some separation from Ricky Rumpf. Fourth down, Baylor.
Ricky Ruff has been all over the field. We saw him knife down Petty earlier in the game. He's done a nice job covering these wide receivers. They brought up all-out blitz right there, man-to-man coverage, left Rump on an island against the best wide receiver from Baylor, and he was locked down. Bryce Petty's having a hard time finding the open receivers, and he's getting a ton of pressure in his face.
Spencer Ross set to punt inside his own 25-yard line. This will be a big defensive series for Baylor.
Delay game. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
I don't think you want to go backwards, do you?
You never want to go backwards.
That's my
Not
point.
In this situation.
I mean, Art Briles has got to just, well, there he is. I mean, he's got to be beside himself.
When you start adding up the penalties and the yards, just very uncharacteristic of typically a well-disciplined Baylor team.
Strong kick, pedaling back, Thompson at the 21-yard line. Emotions, oh, they're boiling. Under 10 minutes left. Emotions on the sideline. West Virginia can smell an upset. Up by a touchdown over 4th-ranked Baylor.
Those are your two middle linebackers, Benton and Kwiatkowski. And Tony Gibson, the defensive coordinator with the white hat on, he's sitting in his huddle. He said, hey, you have to hold up because I'm not going to let up. Less than 10 minutes on the clock. The defense is doing an excellent job this game.
Speaking of defense, Baylor's got to come to play on this series. Smallwood bangs his way to the 25. A pickup of 2.
And it's going to start up front for Baylor's defense. Oakman, Billing, penalties. That seems like it's been easier said than done today. They just have to play sound football, tackle well, and get off this football field.
First down, 32-yard line. Trickett. On a string. Coming back to help, and the catch on the hands of Kevin White. They'll be at the 40-yard line.
What was impressive about that route was Kevin White's ability to run the curl route and work back to the football.
6 catches, 118 yards for White. Nearly 20 yards of reception. And boy, they're hitting out there.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Bryce Hager with a big slobber knocker of a hit. I mean, that was an impressive hit by that linebacker.
West Virginia, hurry-ups. Oh, another big hit. So does. What an eye. Wide open is White along that far sideline. Some breakdown in the secondary for Baylor. White wide open.
Now Howard's been called with a number of penalties. He's playing a little timid right now, playing on his heels. He has to stay aggressive, especially against a top receiver like White.
14-yard pickup. First down, 39-yard line of Baylor. Trickett again throws and through the hands, incomplete. He wanted to keel Shorts, a sophomore. And then completion stops the clock with 8:08 to play. He made a great point. Baylor did not panic last week. Only down a touchdown, but they need to stop here. 3rd down and 10. Trickett. Hot slot. Right on the number. Alford. See ya! Touchdown! What a 1-2 combo. 39 yards. Over 300 yards for Trickett and the PAT to try to make it 41-27. Good.
Mario Alford, number 5, they run a little scissor route to try to pick Ryan Reed, number 9, the defensive back. He gets caught up in the wash. And you get the ball to Alford in the open field with his speed. He's unstoppable, he's uncatchable, and that's the reason he was off to the races and touchdown. They drew up that play on the sidelines, and it worked to perfection on the football field.
You know, Ryan, all smiles yesterday in our meetings about the vertical speed, the pull-away speed as Trickett is running to celebrate the moment. Alford just ran away from Baylor secondary.
That's just flat out track speed. We talked about it. It's a track meet on this football field. We probably could pluck a number of these players off this field and have a 4-by-1 team that'd be very competitive. And Alford, he'd be my lead leg. He's that fast. He's a dynamic player, and they want to find a way to get him the ball more because a lot of attention goes to Kevin White. But Mario Alford deserves attention as well.
9 plays, 78 yards. And the lead is now 41-27. Short kick. Baylor runs up on it. Norwood. It's 12th ranked TCU.
Stay close because Bryce Petty in this offense.
Yes.
This isn't enough cushion for West Virginia. Bryce Petty in this offense, they're explosive. One of the fastest scoring offenses in the entire country. They got to find a way to settle down and hit some of these open receivers. And these receivers have to work hard right now to give Bryce Petty a target.
Don't forget, this is the highest scoring team in the FBS, nearly 53 points a game. Stuffed as Baylor went to the run, and a loss of 3 back to the 24-yard line. Other center goes Petty.
After the play was over, personal foul, number 2, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Brandon Goulson, and he's led now this West Virginia team to a 2-touchdown lead on Baylor.
Well, he said he likes to strive for perfection, knows that he's not going to reach it, and says, guess what, when you come up short, you reach greatness. That's what he's doing today. He's playing at a high level. He's finding the open wide receivers, and he's playing with a confidence that we didn't see last year. A night and day difference between the player he was last year to the player he is this year.
You know, he was beat up a lot last year. Shoulder problems, arm issues. Told us he couldn't lift weights. He lost weight. He's not the biggest player, but I noticed when he walked in yesterday, he's bulked up some. And he's staying healthy. West Virginia starts this drive on the 8-yard line. Baylor needs a stop. They've got to start clawing at the ball as well, Ryan. The old linebacker you are, what do? You got to get a turnover right now.
Well, you want one guy to come in, secure the ball here, secure the tackle, and then the rest of the 10 players in the field, they got to come in, try to rake that ball out, find a way to see if they can create a turnover, Craig, like you said, because they need to get this ball back to their offense in a hurry.
School record, 8 straight games, over 300 yards for Trickett. A loss of 1, second down 11. Clock's under 5 minutes. Straight ahead. Nothing. Smallwood. Andrew Billings, a nose tackle. Put the hat on his number. That brings up 3rd down and a timeout.
Timeout, Baylor.
Baylor will use a timeout.
And that's a smart call. You want to call the timeout right here, preserve some of this time on the clock. You know West Virginia's backed up. If you can get a stop defensively.
Please reset the game clock to 4:39. 4:39.
If you can force West Virginia to get out on this 3rd down, get off the field as a defense and give the ball back to your offense, you're going to have a short field.
And Ryan, also, you're going to force West Virginia, if you do hold, to punt into the wind. You could have this ball easily past midfield.
If they get the ball past midfield, we've seen how quickly this offense can strike for Baylor. Bing, bang, boom, they'll be in the end zone.
Just 64 on the ground for Baylor. 223 pass. West Virginia's countered. More of a balanced attack today, and the arm of Trickett's been the difference.
Those numbers for Baylor are typically for one half of football.
3rd down 11. Trickett in his end zone. Steps and throws. Nearly intercepted. And that brings up 4th down. Orion Stewart. Good coverage in the secondary. And now West Virginia, protecting a 2-touchdown lead, will have to punt from their own end zone. So Petty pacing. He wants the football down 2 touchdowns. Kick short, 40-yard line. Norwood. And a flag. Norwood tried to hit the edge and could not escape, but a flag's down at the 37.
You're going to get, that's an easy call. It's going to be a block in the back. But still, Baylor's going to have really good field position with plenty of time on the clock.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 18, receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the return. 1st down.
For Bryce Petty, pressure and more pressure here in the second half.
He does not like pressure. He's been rattled in this second half, the entire second half, by a number of players. They've gotten to him. They've hit him hard. They've been disruptive. Credit to West Virginia for their ability to get in that backfield and make Bryce Petty, who a guy who I think is a Heisman hopeful, look like a mere mortal in this second half.
10 hurries, 3 knockdowns, 3 sacks. That was the game plan by Tony Gibson. Pressure Petty.
The old Al Davis saying, quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard. There's not a quarterback in this country that likes to be hit and likes to be hit often. And Bryce Petty, he's been rattled today. Looks a little bit out of sync, but this is his time. Plenty of time on the clock, a little bit of adversity. Let's see if he can rise to the occasion.
4:24 to play. 41-27 West Virginia. This is Petty time. Movement off the edge and a flag.
Offside, unabated to the quarterback. Number 2, defense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Ronnie almost can dial up a big play here on 1st and 5.
Well, they just changed the defense. Before they had single high safety. Now they have 2 safeties back to defend against the pass.
Run it up the middle. Big run, Linwood. Oh, he put the pad down to the 20-yard line.
Bryce Petty, he must have read that on that play before. They had a single high safety. They were trying to take away the run. That time, they tried to take away the pass. They ran the ball very effectively.
Petty trying to move Baylor inside the red zone. He'll keep it, and does. Hits to the sideline, spins down at 15. Ricky Rumpf has been busy in that secondary for West Virginia. Clock runs. They'll be 2nd down and short. Remember, 2 timeouts for Baylor. Linwood in the backfield. Pushes a pile to the 9. 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal, Baylor.
The clock stops for a few minutes to move the chains. The offense is going to get right on the ball and snap the ball as soon as the officials blow the whistle.
1st down sometimes just like a free timeout if you use it right. Now the clock runs. Petty from the gun. They stay on the ground and go off the left side with Linwood behind Blake Muir and Kyle Fuller. Baylor's the master at the hurry-up. 4 wide. Petty. Off the hands. Incomplete. Jay Lee, had he hung on, Ryan Neese, touchdown.
Jay Lee runs a little slant from the outside. He's clear. Ball goes right through his hands. We've seen a number of drops today, and it's unfortunate because Bryce Petty's putting it on the numbers, and his receivers aren't bailing him out. Big third down right here. Let's see who can. He's going to throw the ball in this situation.
Third down and goal. Takes a glance at the Baylor bench. 2 of 16 on third down conversions. Petty. Dropped! Up the middle. Untouched. Shaq Riddick. Here's the game. 4th and goal. Petty to the end zone. Out of bounds. Threw into double coverage, and Jay Lee was out of bounds. And for the second time, Baylor's going to turn it over on downs.
Bryce Petty gives his wide receiver a chance. Jay Lee goes up and makes a catch. Watch his feet. He's just out of bounds. The defensive back.
The penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal. That's number 9's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul. First down, West Virginia.
I saw the flag, Ron, come out late. A taunt by K.J. Dillon.
Well, you're going to see number 9 right in the left-hand side of your screen. It's an emotional game, but you have to learn how to control those emotions. There's time on this clock. Go celebrate with your teammates. Don't trash talk to the other players. Go have fun with your teammates. Enjoy that moment with them, because this is a special moment for this team and for this defense.
Well, this crowd's about 2.5 minutes away from enjoying the moment. This is going to put West Virginia right in the thick of the Big 12. Kansas State winning against Oklahoma today. Baylor will go down. Baylor fans made the trip.
Timeout. Baylor.
It's not been a happy day. For those of you tuning in for Oklahoma State TCU, we will get you out there at the immediate conclusion of our game. In the meantime, it's available streaming live on our Fox Sports Go app and foxsports.com. Oklahoma State, TCU.
Clint Trickett's right now. He's talking to his offensive lineman. I need you guys. 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. I need you to get a push. I need you to get a block. Let's find a way to create some seams for our running backs. Let them do the dirty work and see if we can move the chains and eat at this clock and close out this game.
Can't afford a turnover. They had 3 early but survived. Baylor dejected. 6-0. That mark about to come to an end. Handoff. Big run, first down, 25-yard line. Wendell Small behind Wellman. Boy, the emotions of college football. One side elated.
You can see the pain on Baylor's players, their faces right now. I've been in that situation, and it is tough. Right now, all you're doing is watching this clock. It's going in slow motion. You're just hoping your offense can get the ball back.
First down, West Virginia, handoff, Smallwood. They're picking up 5 yards a chunk. And now the clock runs under a minute 45. West Virginia will take on Oklahoma State next week. Baylor, by the way, will have a bye. And this crowd is revving up for a party.
Well, you can hear it. They're bouncing around. They're on their feet. The players are bouncing around on the sideline. This was a huge victory for this team. The way that they played today, you know what? It was a testament. Coaches told us the best week of practice, and it translated over onto the field.
Trickett. Hand off to Smallwood again. Time for the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff Player of the Game. And Clint Trickett, no doubt, he's led the way. Early struggles, but he bounced back. 322 yards passing.
He was a leader. I mean, he may be small in stature, but he plays big. He's very comfortable, very confident. And what's interesting about him, when we talked with him yesterday, he talked about the togetherness of the team, how the players get along, how the players hang out with one another. It took him an entire year to develop that. And now all of a sudden you see him as the leader, and now they're in their favorite position, victory position, taking a knee.
On a knee, Trickett. Here we go. Here we go. Ryan, the players took off before the clock hit 0, and we'll count it down.
Well, they ran right to their student body section to go give their fans some love, some of their fellow classmates. And these players are running around, hugging each other. They're embracing this moment as they should. And guess what? That man right there deserves a lot of credit. Dana Holgerson's done an excellent job building a fine program here that was very competitive and beat a number 4 ranked team on their home turf.
5-2, now 3-1 in Big 12 play, and they pull the upset on their home field against 4th-ranked Baylor. 41-27.
I thought what was impressive about the game, West Virginia, top to bottom, special teams, they came up with plays that were needed. Defensively, they were flying around. We could talk about the offense, but we got to give a lot of credit to this defense, the way they flew around, shut down one of the most high-powered offenses in the entire country.
Oh, they're singing in Morgantown. And the final, 41-27, West Virginia over 4th-ranked Baylor. Right now, let's get you out to Oklahoma State, TCU, Gus Johnson, and Charles Davis.